talk traditional wedding. Every Tuesday Instagram, every Tuesday on Facebook, 6 p.m. UK time. Every Tuesday on Facebook. ETO IGBEYAWO, tó fún mi lóye. Let's talk traditional wedding. Ìgbéyàwó, tó fún mi lóye. Let's talk traditional weddings. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò yìí, ẹ̀yin tèmi nílé lóko lẹ́yìn odi. Mo kára lé, mo kérò ọ̀nà, mo kọ́kùnrin, mo kóbìnrin, mo kọ́mọdé. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo kí àgbàlagbà wípé ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò yìí. Lórí ètò láwa, ètò wa, ètò yìí. Ètò kan náà tí gbogbo wa mọ̀ sí ètò ìgbéyàwó. Let's talk traditional weddings and more with Bùnmi the Royals. Àmọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣe wa lórí ètò yìí, kó tó di pé aṣọ nǹkan òun ṣé ẹ̀rí pé ó yẹ ká júbà ọba kọ́dá ayé, ọba ṣẹ̀dá ọ̀run, ọba lánàá, ọba lénìí, ọba títa ayérayé kọrin kése, ẹlẹ́bùrú ìkẹ́, ọba tó ní ipa tó kàn tí ò pani, tó ṣe pé ṣe ló ń pani mọ́, ọba tá a dágbére fún lọ́sẹ̀ tó kọjá pé à ń lọ kábọ̀, tó jẹ́ kó ṣeé ṣe fíìmù àti láti tún débí lénìí láyé láàyè àti láyè rere. Ẹlẹ́bùrú ìkẹ́, ọba àná, ọba ìní, ọba títí ayérayé, alágbára ńlá, akiriṣẹ́rẹ́ ọba ṣòro kí a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín wípé ẹ tún jẹ́ kó ṣeé ṣe fún èmi Olúwabùnmi aya Òṣìbẹ̀rù tí mo jólótú ètò yìí láti débí láyé àtàlàáfíà lénìí àti gbogbo àwọn èèyàn bí ẹni bí ẹni èèyàn bí èèyàn tán wò mí lórí ètò yìí tán máa ń darapọ̀ mọ́ mi lọ́sẹ̀ọ̀sẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ kó ṣeé ṣe fún wa láti débí láyọ̀ láyé láyé àti àyè rere lénìí. Thank you, Lord. We are so grateful for preserving our lives, for making it possible for myself and all these amazing people that join me every week to come back safely and alive and well this week again. We don't take it for granted. Olúwa ẹ̀bùn pẹ́kẹ́ gbà yín wá. Mo tún fàsìkò náà dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn iléeṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ṣagbátẹrù ètò yìí, àwọn èjìká tán jẹ́ kẹ́wò jábọ́ pàápàá jùlọ. Iléeṣẹ́ Jẹ̀lẹ́ńkẹ́ Duchess níbi tí wọ́n ti ń ta aṣọ oríṣiríṣi, aṣọ ìyàwó lẹ́fẹ́ ni ti ìyá ìyàwó, ti bàbá ìyàwó, aṣọ ọmọdé, aṣọ àgbà, aṣọ ìyá ìyàwó, aṣọ ọmọ ìyàwó, ẹ fẹ́ fi ṣòye ni ẹ fẹ́ fi ṣe ohun tó bá fẹ́ fi ṣe, ẹ kàn sí iléeṣẹ́ Jẹ̀lẹ́ńkẹ́ Duchess. Follow them on Instagram and TikTok. They have quality, amazing stuff. Thank you, Jẹ̀lẹ́ńkẹ́ Duchess, for your support. Wọ́n bá yàn ṣaṣọ ẹbí, wọ́n ta gold, wọ́n ta original coral. Kò sí nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ wọn tí ẹ ò rí. Iléeṣẹ́ Jẹ̀lẹ́ńkẹ́ Duchess, ẹ ṣé ẹ kú gbogbo ìgbà, ẹ kú àdúró tí iléeṣẹ́ yóò ní jóná, ọwọ́ yín á máa ròkè o. Mo tún fàsìkò yìí náà dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ iléeṣẹ́ Celebration International Magazine. Tá fẹ́ ṣayẹyẹ yín, tẹ́ ẹ wá photographer, videographer, tí wọ́n ní disappoint, tí wọ́n ní delay, tẹ́ pé for the next 20-30 years, àwọn fídíò yóò ní máa ṣe bàlàbàlà. Celebration International Magazine by Babs Nike Kosi. They are on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook as Celebration International Magazine. Thank you for your unending support. I am truly, truly grateful. I also want to thank the amazing Blanco Concept. I want to know why we bóyá ẹ fẹ́ ṣe photo shoot ni o, ẹ fẹ́ ṣe ìyàwó ni, ẹ fẹ́ ṣe gbogbo tó bá fẹ́ ṣe, Blanco Concept is there for you. They are very professional. Àwọn èèyàn sọ pé àìtí ya photo láyé sí ẹ lè fi wé o. You cannot compare the two. Thank you, Blanco Concept, for your support every week. I really appreciate and I celebrate you. Right now, I am back like I never left, people. This is your girl, Bùnmi Òṣìbẹ̀rù, aka Bùnmi the Royals, Alága Ìdúró, Alága Ìjókòó, MC. Olóòtú ètò ìgbéyàwó with godly swagger. Àti ti délé ní bá ṣe ń dé. People, like I always say to us every week, help me to tell people that the show has started, everybody. Please share it. We have started again this week. Today, we'll be talking about a very important topic, a very lovely one at that. Please, kindly do me a favor, share the show, copy the link, paste it out there, send to your friends, let them know that the show has started. Seriously, this is one that you don't want to miss. You don't want to miss this one. Trust me on that. You don't want to miss this one. It's a very, very, very important topic that we are going to be talking about today. So if you know anyone that will normally be here and they're not here, kindly help me share. Send the message to them, let them know that the show has started, and please be part of the conversation. What we're going to be talking about today is going to help a lot of people, trust me. And if you're new on this platform, well, this is what we do on this particular channel. We talk about Nigerian weddings, Nigerian traditional weddings. We talk about family, we talk about marriage, we talk about home, we talk about things that happen that, and we always have a real life scenario that we discuss towards the end of this show. And trust me, if you stay here tonight, you're not going to regret coming here tonight. So as I said to you, please share, and let people know that the show has started. We are on 3 platforms. We are on TikTok tonight. We are also on YouTube, Meet the Royals TV. We are on TikTok, Meet the Royals 25. We are also on Instagram as Meet the Royals. Meet the Royals on Instagram, ladies and gentlemen. We are here tonight. So if you know anybody that would normally be here that are not here, remind them that the show has started. Please, this is going to be very helpful. Tonight, we're going to be discussing about step parents and step children. Step parents and step children. For people that have been, that have been into more than one marriage, and there are children from the previous marriage or the new marriage that does not belong to them, that's what we're going to be talking about today. How to be able to strike a balance, how it works, how it's supposed to be, between step parents and step children. Please let's bear in mind that a lot of people that are into second marriage, they're not there because they did anything wrong. Because that's one thing a lot of people think is he has left the first marriage, the second marriage. It's not because they did. There are some people that are widowed. There are some people that life happened and they happen to be in the second or third marriage, and there has been children that are already existing in those marriages before they join them, or they bring their own children into that marriage. So today we are going to be talking about how to make sure that we strike a balance between the relationship of the step parents and the step children. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So please, people, the show is so full of a lot to learn. So as I said to us, call people, let them know that we have started, let them know that the show has started, let them be part of this conversation. If you're on Instagram and you can hear me, please say hi. I am not sure what has been happening lately on Instagram. People say they can't hear, they are commenting and I can't see their comments. I hope that does not happen tonight. So if you're on Instagram and you can hear me, just say hi. If you're on TikTok and you can hear me, say hi. And feel free to send a request to join the conversation. Send an invitation to join the conversation. Let's talk about these things. But before we proceed, I think it's always good to have like a background information. It's always good. I just love to make sure that we kind of have like some background information before we proceed. Please share the show, and if you can hear me, just say hi. Let me know that you are there. I always love to know that people are around and they can hear me. And let me say this in advance for Instagram people: if we notice that Instagram is misbehaving tonight, we might go to Facebook, because these days I don't know what's going on with Instagram. Sometimes people are commenting and I can't see their comments, and that thing can be very, very frustrating. So if you're on Instagram, if you can hear me, let me know that you can hear me, say hi. And if it's not working, we will ask everybody to migrate to TikTok. And if you get to TikTok and you are still not comfortable, we're going to go to Facebook, to open Facebook instead of Instagram, so that everybody can be part of this conversation, because it's a very important one. Yeah, somebody said some. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's do our little introduction before we go on. As I said to us, tonight is about step parents and step children. Step parents and step children. So we're going to look into that, and then we're going to have a proper conversation about the relationship, how it's meant to be, how to strike a balance so it doesn't become toxic. That's what we're going to be looking at tonight. So if you know anybody that is in a maybe like a second or third marriage and they have stepchildren, it would be nice for you to invite them to come and be part of this conversation. There will be one or two things to learn. Yeah. As I always say to us, I'm going to give a brief overview before I proceed. Thank you, Mommy Abioki, for joining us. If you can hear me, say hi. Let me know you can hear me. The relationship between step parents and stepchildren can sometimes be one of the most complex ones. Thank you, Gracious, for letting me know that you are there. It can be quite complex. It can be quite complex. So, while blended families have the potential to thrive, they can also become environment. It can also become an environment filled with tension, resentments, misunderstanding, and emotional conflicts. How many of us agree? How many of us agree with me that in as much as relationship between step parents and step In as much as relationship between step parents and step children can be pleasant, it can also become toxic. It can be misunderstood. We can have some emotional conflict and so on and so forth. So today, some step parents are accused of being overly harsh. Some are being accused of overly harsh. Some they think they are too controlling or even abusive, especially when they are trying to discipline children who may not see them as legitimate authority. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. Sometimes stepchildren can be overly harsh. Somebody says sometimes step parents can also be overly harsh, and then sometimes the stepchildren does not see them as who are you to control me, who are you to tell me what to do, that kind of thing. So tonight, we are going to be looking at it from the aspect of the step parents. We're also going to be looking at it from the aspect of the child or children or whoever may be involved. And then we may also be talking about from the biological parents, because most of the time in this situation, it's always a case of two elephants fighting. And then we have the grass that suffers. Thank you, MC Mona. God bless you. Toyin TSB, thank you for joining me. God bless you. Good evening, everyone, and our gorgeous Solutu. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. So tonight, people, first of all, let's take it one after the other. Let's take it after the other, one after the other. I've seen a clip where a stepfather actually hit a stepson, and the mother felt, how dare you, you can't touch my child. Why would you touch my child without my consent? And the man was like, what do you mean, why can't I touch your child and stuff like that? First of all, let's start from that aspect. Remember that there is a difference between being corrected and being disciplined. There's a difference between the two, and being punished. There's a difference between the two. I also want to start from the positive part. Let's talk from the fact that where a step parent and a stepchild are quite close, they are good together, they don't have any issues, they are happy together. What do you think can cause them to be like that? Let's start from that angle, because I love to approach things from the positive angle. What are the things that can make a step parent and a step child be, they have good relationship, they don't have problem with each other, they are fine, they don't have issue. What do you think can be responsible for that? Please, though, people, like I always say to us, there's no how I'm going to be having this show and I'm going to be the only one talking. Good job. There's no way. Unfortunately, Instagram does not allow us to play music for more than a second now, or even few seconds. If not, I would have said if people are not talking, then I'm going to just be playing music. So I actually need your contributions on this. If you are a stepchild, or you happen to be from a home where you have step parents, or maybe you are from a home where or you yourself, you are a stepchild to somebody. Maybe you have a stepfather or a stepmother. You want to share your experience. We're going to be taking the positive ones first. Let's talk about when step parents and stepchildren, when they kind of tó jẹ́ pé ọ̀rọ̀ wọn wọ̀, kò sí jà, kò sí nǹkan kan. What do you think would cause that? How can somebody make sure that the relationship between step parents and stepchildren are good? Because a lot of times, just like mother-in-laws and daughters-in-law, first thing tó máa kọ́kọ́ ń lò ni pé ìyá ìyàwó àti ìyá ọkọ báyìí, ìyá ọkọ àti ìyàwó ọmọ, they will always fight. Sometimes we assume, but there are some very good relationship of parents-in-law and daughters-in-law and stuff like that. So let's look at it from this angle as well. What do you think could make relationship between step parents and stepchildren to be positive? What can make them to have good relationship? What can make them to be living together happily ever after? And if you are a stepchild or stepdaughter or stepson or a stepmother, and you have, or a stepfather, and you have good relationship with your stepchildren, can you tell us? Let's share some experience. Please, people, talk now. Why is everybody quiet? I want people to talk. If you are a stepson, a stepdaughter, or you are a stepmother, or you know of a family that have this kind of relationship, and you think they are doing well, I would like to you to share experience of what you see. Why? I mean, how did they do it? Because usually there's this thing about this kind of relationship. Like, ìyàwó bàbá mi tí ẹ fẹ́ gbóhùn ẹ̀ sétí, ìyá ọmọ ọkọ mi tí ẹ fẹ́ gbóhùn ẹ̀ sétí, or ọmọ tíyàwó mi ti bí sí mi fẹ́ gbóhùn ẹ̀. That is always the case. But now we want to look at the positive one. Let's talk about the positive ones first. Please talk to me, people. Please talk to me. You can unmute yourself if you are already sent me a request to be in the show. What can be done? What are the things that can be done to ensure that there is good relationship between step parents and stepchildren? Let's talk about it. What do you think? You can write it out. I will read it out. If you're not here, if you cannot send me a request to join live. And Instagram, please, I don't know if you guys can hear me, let me know. If you cannot hear me, I'm going to go to Facebook so people can join me on Facebook where they can talk. On YouTube as well, I'm on YouTube live as we speak. You can join me on YouTube. You're also free to comment on YouTube. And I want people to please talk. Make sure that you're saying something. I don't want it to be that when the program is about to end, people will now start coming and saying, Killer, so okay, can we go back? And we want to end the show. People will be saying, no, don't end yet. So I still have something to say and blah, 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 blah. This is the beginning of the show. Now we've spent 17 minutes on this show and nobody has said anything. I really want you to say something to me. So please, people, what would you say could cause good relationship between step parents and stepchildren? Or do we even know who these people are? Should I explain who they are? Who is a stepchild? Who is a step parent? Who are step parents and who are stepchildren? Maybe we should first of all Maybe we should first of all start from there. This one that everybody is quiet. Maybe we should start from there. And I think I've actually explained it to a reasonable extent. A step parent is, somebody who maybe had a previous relationship or previous marriage that now in a new relationship that maybe he or she already has a child or two, and they brought them into this new relationship, or vice versa. Hello. Yeah, somebody came in and just the person left. Somebody said the man of the house is the one that is responsible for that. His honesty and truthfulness will create peace. That's coming from MC Moonlight. It says the man of the house is the one that is responsible for that. His honesty and truthfulness will create peace. Okay. I am not quite sure I get that message very well. I have a rough idea, but very, very, very faint idea of what MC Moonlight is trying to say. I will appreciate if you can please explain further, sir. How does a man's honesty and truthfulness create peace between step parents and stepchildren? I love to hear more from you, ma. How does that work? Omo ìyàwó mi omo ọkọ mi, and we are doing very well. We are we don't have any event, any challenge. We don't have any problem. We are doing very well. They said if it's not biased and not taking sides. So if the man is not biased and not taking sides, okay. Okay, ma. Okay, so MC Monas is trying to tell us that if the man of the house is not taking now, I want to establish something before we proceed. That's why I did not say stepfather and I did not say stepmother. I'm talking about step parents. You know that it could be the other way. It could be the woman that owns the biological child from a previous marriage, and it could be the man as well. So we're looking at it from both ways. And sometimes they both have. I've seen where they've both been in previous relationship, they both have children in previous relationship, and they now come together and they now both have children in this relationship. But we are now talking about how they relate with children from the previous relationship. What can make it, positive? What can help the relationship to be positive and be good? What can make a step parent or stepfather or stepmother to be able to relate with stepchildren from previous relationship in a positive way? What can contribute to it? MC Munai said one of the things that can contribute to that is not being biased. I want to take that on board. When you're not biased, when the but I don't know why you specify that, why you actually refer to the man in this place. Okay, parents, okay, parents or parties involved have to be truthful and open to each other. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Now I got your point right. Both parents have to be truthful and not biased. Thank you, ma. I'm still waiting to hear from other people, please. And not biased. And when we say being truthful and not being biased, open to each other, I would like us to also set an example. Please, on TikTok, feel free to unmute yourself and join. If you have anything to say, or if you cannot join with your, if you cannot join on the audio, you can always leave a comment and I will read your comments out. This topic that we're talking about tonight is something that I believe that somebody somewhere is going to gain from, because a lot of times people find themselves in situations they never planned from the beginning of their life. For example, most of the time people don't think when no, nobody gets married with the intention of, okay, at one point I will remarry, at one point I will leave this man. Mommy Ashabioki says mutual acceptance. I love that. I love that. Mutual acceptance is very, very important. If you both accept, it's key. It's very key. No sentiment. Thank you. No transfer of aggression. Thank you, ma'am. MC Mona says no sentiment and no transfer of aggression. Mm. And no transfer of aggression. I like that. You know, when people come into a relationship with positive mind, you know, somebody said, oh, let me read this. Somebody said the child or children involved will watch and react to the parties according to the way their own is being treated. Huh. I would like to hear more on that, ma. Can you shed more light? I think you're trying to pass a message across, but I didn't quite get it. The children will react. The child or children involved will watch and react to the parties according to the way their own is being treated.
Let me just expatiate that now. What I meant by that is,
Okay.
for example, if you're a man, you have a child, you brought
yeah,
I
can see your comments, ma. Mommy Alashabi, I can see your comments, ma. Sorry, ma. Sorry to cut you short. Mommy, people on Instagram are asking me if I can see that. At least I can still see you for now. Call on Jeko Duro. Mommy Ashabi, so sorry, sis. Sorry to cut you short. They said mutual acceptance is very key. I saw your comments, ma. I saw it. Yes. I hope it keeps going like this. So, but if it stops, if I can't hear your comments anymore, I will go to Facebook so people can join me on Facebook. Continue, ma. Sorry to cut you short. Thank you.
Yes, so as I was saying, I said the child or the children involved, for example, if a man brings his own child into a different marriage, the man's child will react to the woman according to the way the woman treats the child's dad.
Oh, okay, I see. Oh, okay. Okay, I see. So,
if you are nice to the child's,
I can. Somebody's not letting me hear this. I think I get the point that the sister is trying to make. That sometimes, positive. We're talking about can encourage positive relationship between step parents and step children. One of the things that has been said is that my sister is trying to say here is that sometimes it could depend on how you treat the 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 biological parent. Let me put it that way. For example, if I get you wrong, ma, please correct me. If I happen to bring my own child into a marriage, and my husband also brings his own child into a marriage from previous relationship, what she's trying to say is my child will probably react to my husband in certain way depending on how he sees the man treats me, or the way I treat the man will make how his own children will also react to me. Which means if you're treating my father badly and I'm a child from a previous marriage, I can never like you. That's if I get that right. Thank you, mom. Thank you, ma'am. Yao Baba. God bless you. Welcome on board. Temitope, thank you for joining us, ma'am. God bless you. For those who are just joining us, I want to say thank you and welcome to the show. Please do me a favor, share this clip, share this, tell people that the show has started. Now, tonight, for those that just joined us, we're talking about step parenting, step parents and step children. Relationship between step parents and step children. We know that nobody plans that they're going to have two marriages in their life, but things happen. Some people are widows, some people relationship just did not work, and they now move into a different relationship, a new relationship, and then there has been children from the previous relationship, and they bring those children into the new relationship. It could be marriage, it could just be relationship. It may not even necessarily be marriage. And now, how can we ensure that there is good relationship between the step parents? For example, it could be both ways. There are marriages that the both parents had already had children from their previous relationship and they now come together. How can we make sure that those children from both relationship, they treat their new step parents properly? For example, you're not my mother, you're my father's wife, you're my step parent, you're my stepmother. How can I make sure that I have a good relationship with you as a child? And how can you, as a stepmother, ensure that you have good relationship with me as a child? Yorùbá lọ wọ́n bọ̀, wọ́n lọ́mọ ọlọ́mọ ṣòro tọ́. So, but we've seen where people, I saw it on the internet the other day, where a young lady was really, really obsessed, and she was very, very emotional, appreciating her stepmother. She was singing the woman's praise, kneeling down, hugging her on her graduation. She said the woman never treated her differently. So, people, please let's talk. How can we ensure that in a relationship that have previous relationship, that we have good relationship with our stepchildren and our step parents as a child, or as a step parent? Please, somebody has said that both parents needs to be truthful and not be biased. That's what somebody said. Somebody said they need mutual acceptance, and I love the word mutual acceptance. For example, I bring my own child into the relationship, you brought your own children into the relationship. We have to mutually accept both children from both previous relationship. No discrimination. Don't say, well, come along, bye bye, and come along, bye, yeah. When you accept, I love the word mutual acceptance. Very, very important. Very, very, very key. Very, very key. There has to be mutual acceptance, and not just on the side of the parents, but also on the side of the children. As a young person, or even if you're a child or you're an adult, your parents already have your parents and your parent, your one of your parents, or your parents are no longer together, and they are now with new partner or new spouse. Do you accept them? Do you accept them as your new parents? That's very important. And also, as parents who have been in previous relationship, you're now in a new relationship, and that relationship has children. Do you accept those children? Mutual acceptance. Thank you, Mama Shabioki. One of the key points that I know that can help to make a relationship between step parents and step children to be solid. Mutual acceptance on both parents and also on the children. Thank you so much, ma'am. Mommy Ashabioki also said the roles of the ex can be, the roles of the ex are crucial. They could be poisoning the relationship from outside. That's another thing. Okay, roles of the exes. We are going to get there. Roles of the exes. You're no longer in this relationship, but the ex they are still putting hands into what is happening in that marriage, in that new relationship. Thank you, ma'am. My MC Monai says correct in love. Yes. If you want to correct, because Bami no mommy ode no lomo o. If you correct my child in a way that I don't like, I will definitely react. It is so easy for me to go crazy. Especially if you have your own children in that marriage or in that relationship, but you don't correct the children the way you correct mine. I see you being subtle and nice when you correct your own children, but the way you correct mine is different. Obviously, I will not be happy. So correct in love, very, very important. Hey, chemostic here, everybody. God bless you. Correct in love. Whoa, correct in love. Thank you. When you equate to my for joining us Thank you for joining us, Kemosi. Thank you everybody for joining us. We are talking about step parents and step children, the relationship between step parents and step children. It doesn't have to always be toxic. How can we make sure that the relationship between step parents and step children are beautiful? And when we're talking about step parent, please, it is not gender based. It's not about stepmother or stepfather. It's not about no, it could be both ways. In fact, sometimes we have seen where both parents have been previously married, and they are now they both bring their children from previous marriage into the new marriage. So we've seen that a lot of times. So let's look at it from that angle. Please keep the comments coming, people. um what can be done to make sure that that relationship is positive? We've said a lot of things. Oh my god, please, 1 second, please. Give me a second. I need to Give me a second, TikTok. So sorry. I need to mute a particular what's it called now? They kept on sending messages, and interfere. Sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, I needed to mute a particular group. They're just sending messages and it's interfering in what I'm doing. Okay, so what we are now saying is the positive part. How can we make sure that the children and the parents, they have good relationship? We've talked about a few things. People have mentioned a lot of things tonight. So we need to make sure that we look into all of those things. Now, let's talk about when things don't go well. We talk about when things are going well. What could cause things to go well? Both parents need to be truthful and not biased. We talk about mutual acceptance, and as far as I'm concerned, that is the greatest point. Some people, ìtàn màálù ṣe rí lórí ìbáná yẹn sọ, lórí ìtàn chicken àbáná yẹn sọ, ó dùn rí lórí ìrẹsì, but ìgbẹ́ ò ṣe rí ní kinní kan, ní bó ṣe máa ń pòwe yẹn. Some people want their spouse, but they don't want the children. Wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ pé adìyẹ ò kì í kú kán dọ́mọ ẹ̀ nù. So some people want the spouse, they don't want the children. It happens both way. It could be both in the from the woman or from the man. I've seen women that will say, no, it's you I marry, kò sí tó kàn mí pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ tó bí o. How can you marry somebody and say kò sí tó kàn mí pẹ̀lú ọmọ tó bí? It's Instagram, are you guys still talking? Mi ò gbọ́ nǹkan kan mọ́ o. Ṣé kò ṣe pé ó tún ti lọ bó ṣe máa ń lọ? If you can't hear me on Instagram, please come to TikTok, or I should just go to Facebook. If you can still hear me on Instagram, please say hi. I can't hear you anymore. And TikTok is also quiet. You know the implication of when we are quiet on TikTok, they're going to stop the live. So please keep on tapping. It's so important. Please don't go quiet on me, Ejo. I beg you in the name of God. If not, we're going to have to end this live sooner than we planned to. So please, people, let's keep it coming. So when it is not, we're talking about how to make it good, how to make sure that it goes well. We talk about so many things tonight, how to make sure that it goes well. Mutual acceptance. Both parents cannot afford to be biased. They need to be truthful. Somebody said they need to set boundaries. Thank you so much. You need to set boundaries, and that boundaries of a thing as well. It's a very wide topic. Setting boundaries. How do we set boundaries? Hi, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Yeah. Damn. Bookilicious, please let me send TikTok to Kemosi. She said she can't find me on TikTok. Let me send the link to Kemosi. She can't find me on TikTok. TikTok, why are you always hiding me away from my people? It's not fair. Oh, yeah, but I can see you guys anyway. I can see you on Instagram. Thank you for saying hi. Somebody also talk about boundaries, setting boundaries. Hey, hey, Joe. When we say setting boundaries, what do we mean? Setting boundaries. In my marriage, I am married to your father. I have been married before. I have children from previous marriage. Your father that I'm married to also have you from a previous marriage. Now we have come together. We are living together under the same roof, and I want to set boundaries. Please, how do we set boundaries in such situation? What kind of things can we do to ensure that there is boundaries. I'm just learning. Oh, as I said to us, I come here every week to come and learn. Kí lèèyàn lè ṣe tó jẹ́ pé èèyàn lè fi set pé okay, oníkálukú gbọ́dọ̀ mọ wọn bára ẹ̀ nínú ilé yìí o. Ibi báyìí ló wà láǹfààní àti ṣe dé o. Ibi yìí ni o láǹfààní àti ṣe dé o. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, irú àwọn òfin wo lèèyàn lè fi lélẹ̀ tó lè jẹ́ pé èèyàn máa fi set boundaries àbọ̀ lóyìnbó. Kí ni Yorùbá kéèyàn set boundaries náà? Please, people, everywhere is quiet. I don't like it when it's quiet. Please talk to me. What can be done? You know, I know it's a work day, so people are busy, but still, what can we do to ensure that there is boundaries? You know, I love to get to the bottom of things. We're not just talking about this thing as a vague, you know, not just in I want us to dwell on it and shed more light on it before I go into what I have. You know, I always have my own things written down because when I come up with any topic, trust me, I must have done my research, I must have checked, I must have tried to balance things up. But I'd love to hear from you first before I bring up what I have written down here. So when we say setting boundaries in marriage, when we say setting boundaries to stepchildren, between stepchildren and step parents, what are we talking about? What does setting boundary involve? What does it entail? Let's talk about it.
What I meant by setting boundaries, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Is when you know, let me put it in Yoruba so that I you are telling me if you get Boyibo. You know, when you know yourself, you know your boundaries, you don't overstep. You understand? And by saying that, even as parents, we know when we have to retract.
Knowing when to stop. Okay.
Knowing when to stop. Yes. So, for example, if I have a husband that brought a child into the marriage, and if I've given my children certain instructions and they are following, and the other child does not follow, I know when to set boundaries.
Okay.
Because, truth be told, even the children that come from us, they have different behaviors, different behavioral patterns. The way I treat my first, when it comes to discipline, or the way my first child, when it comes to discipline, will react, will be different from the way the second or the last. So when you know when to step back, I don't know how to say it, but I'm sure Kemesik is very good at explaining.
Okay, before you go, ma, MC Munai says something. She said, "How can you set boundaries where love exists?" MC Munai, to ma dake wa sori TikTok, mo fe gbohun yin. Because even in marriage, between husband and wife, where there are no stepchildren, I think there should be boundaries in everything. I believe that love or no love, there should be boundaries. You should know when to stop. You should know, no matter how kind somebody is, you should know when to.
When love exists, girl, you need to set boundaries. Because if you don't set certain boundaries, okay, but if you set boundaries and your partner passes the boundary, because to set boundaries, your partner would have known that. For example, my own partner, I don't like it so. You understand? Exactly. But I realized he doesn't like it at all. Funny enough, sorry. You understand? But me like it.
Oh my God.
And if you want to do it intentionally, we go into the toys. Things like that.
It's because yeah.
You understand? But to check him up, like it.
So what do you do if you happen to feel pressed and you can't even have the opportunity, because this thing does not even come announced. It always comes unannounced, isn't it?
Yes, sometimes it doesn't come unannounced. What I do is sorry, perfume. It's sorry, I'm sorry 101 times.
1,000 times.
It sounds funny, but what you do,
I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Okay. Please feel free to unmute yourself if you join me on TikTok. Somebody said, I can say it should be mutual. Let me say, it should be mutual both ways. Okay. Eniola Guy Duro, thank you for joining us, man. God bless you. Please, if you're just joining us, we're talking about step parenting and step children and step parents. Yeah, when you have step children in a marriage or relationship, how do you handle it? For example, if your spouse has got a child from a previous relationship and they bring that child into your relationship, how do you handle those children without getting in trouble? Or if those children from the previous marriage come, how can you make sure that they treat your spouse correctly? That's what we're talking about. Ambassador, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I've got a great guest here, Ambassador Franre. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Please, I'm sure a lot of people will say, but I don't have step parents. How do you expect me to know what to say here? I grew up in a polygamous home. I had stepmother, and my stepmother happened to have children from her previous marriage that she brought into our home, 4 of them, and I don't want to go there yet. We had a fantastic time, although we had our times of, till today you can never tell the difference, and my dad had been married before my mom, even though the woman was late before they married my mom. So we had older siblings, and 3 of them. And till today, you cannot see in between us. You can't tell us apart, But I don't know what is happening nowadays that, I've seen where step parents treat their stepchildren horrible, stepmother treating their stepchildren really, really bad. And I've seen where stepfathers cannot even stand the guts of their stepchildren. And I'm asking, what could be the reason? Kí ló lè fà? Kí ló fà tó jẹ́ pé ìyàwó bàbá mi lẹni yìí o? You're supposed to accept him as her as your mom, but you do not. Not only that you do not accept her as your mother, you're also being rebellious towards her. Kí ló fà? Those are the things that we're talking about. So if you can hear me, and you have an experience, I want you to share your experience. We're talking about what we can do to ensure that this does not happen. It's very possible. It is very, very, very possible for step parents and stepchildren to live happily ever after, to live in harmony, to live together, without any trouble. It is very, very possible. And I've just spoken to you from my experience till today. My older siblings from my dad's previous marriage, before he married my mom, his wife was late before he married my mom. Not that my mother found it, but then my dad brought 3 into the marriage, and my dad also married another woman who brought children from her previous marriage. So it's not a big deal. It's not something that's just happening nowadays. Now let's talk about it. We've mentioned things that can make the relationship between step parents and step children to be good, to be in good terms, to be living together happily ever after. Ma'am.
Sometimes, sorry to cut you. Sometimes, like Mommy Ashabi said, influence of the ex will make a very, very vital role in the new marriage. Most times, when the ex realize that anytime of feel to live happily ever after with another person, they get jealous. They don't want the marriage to work, and they influence the children they both had together against the new person that their partner is going on with. And innocently, some of them probably young when their parents left each other. So the bad one that has not moved on will be influencing the children in the marriage. They will. So custody. Or even if it doesn't have the custody, maybe the mother has custody of the children. If it's a bad mother, the mother would influence the children against their father's wife. That they want to come on holiday. On holiday, they will make the woman's life miserable, forgetting that it is that woman's house. I claim baba enjoy marriage. And sometimes, on the other side, so much move on. Because it depends on what happened in the relationship. If you married a narcissist, you probably left them for somebody else. Marriage. When it marriage, move on.
Yeah.
They will not be influencing the children. They will. And to a lot of young shit that they will.
Imagine.
And because you're too much paroque, yes, she could ship a lenny, whereas it's a lie. Especially for the younger children. You know.
That's
so
deep.
It always causes a lot of what's the damage I want more.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And innocently, I want more. And you'll be feeding the children, but my accept, I'm still your father any day, anytime, anything you want from me. But I don't respect anymore.
Wow. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Flourish. Thank you so much for your nice comment. She said you're looking absolutely gorgeous. I appreciate you. Thank you for that, ma'am. Thank you. Now we're talking about the influence of the ex. The influence of the ex in the new relationship with the children. I don't know whose mic is on yet. Very, 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 very important. Especially when the children are still too young to understand. You find out that your ex has moved on into a new relationship and she's doing very well, and you has brought the children into this new relationship, and you are always there to tackle the new person, whether as a man you're tackling the new husband, or as a woman you're tackling the new wife. You are outside there, but you are throwing stones into the family. It's so sad that this happened. And before we move on from this particular point, of the influence of the ex, what can somebody do to prevent this from happening? What can somebody do to prevent the influence of their father from the previous relationship, or the mother from the previous relationship? What can you do to make sure that it doesn't affect, or it doesn't influence the new relationship in a negative way? It doesn't influence the children towards their new father or stepfather, or influence the children towards the stepmother. Well, how can somebody, because at the end of the day, telling the kids and that when go okay odo, and ebe mi ye mfe jo de daddy mi, mfe jo de mommy mi.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah. Oh, welcome on board, man.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah. Oh.
Hallelujah.
Because
my beautiful sister.
God bless you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
There's nothing you can do. You cannot do anything. If I tell you, oh, this is how it should be done, I'll be lying to you here this evening, because I don't know. It has never happened to me before. I've never, looked after any stepchild before. And at the same time, I wouldn't know how to behave if it happens. I may tell you now that nice is and it could be the other way around. So I can sometimes you don't know you don't know how strong you are until being strong is the only option that you've got. So I cannot really tell. But with the little Timothy, there is nothing you can do. It depends. Nice. Lomo nice.
Hello, fit nice. How much?
Yes, everybody. Oh, Mom, you are so mean sometimes. Yes. So if my
stick.
No, let's truth be told.
Sometimes when I choke.
Sometimes when I want you and do all sorts, they're like, we got to what they need. I must say that. They know that I am their mother.
I need the tissue.
I'm only but maybe another child, someone's child, not understand that. Oh yeah,
me.
It's a bit tricky. It's a bit difficult. All depends, Lori, on and then in the election, how do we prevent? There is not sharing possibly prevent. So, and your time, your journey, and your buruku, all you can only change. Shall get in possible. Like Ukilisha said the other time, some exes. Jealousy. Nainde worry them. Bad belly. Nainde worry them. kò jálábà ó sùn ní wọn.
Wọ́n ní kò jẹ́ ó ní egungun ni wọ́n lò sọ́nù lẹ́ran díẹ̀ wà lára ẹ̀.
Wọ́n lọ sọ́nù ó ní ó má dàbẹ́ ni pé flesh díẹ̀ ṣì wà ń bẹ̀, can I still stick to that flesh on it? Kò wá ní jẹ́ ṣé mọ̀.
Àwa ní pé mi ò ní kó lọ mi ò ní kó má lọ bọ̀ tó ò ní gbádùn ibi tó lọ yẹn.
Maybe the dad or the mom is in the custody of the child. Yet wọ́n máa pè ọkọ ìyá ẹ̀ kí ló ṣe láàárọ̀ yìí? Ọkọ bàbá ẹ̀ ọmọ bàbá ẹ̀
ìyàwó bàbá ẹ̀.
Kí ló fún yín jẹ? You are poisoning that child. You are poisoning the mind of that child. Tọ́mọ yẹn kọ́ bá fẹ́ jẹ́ ọmọ dáadáa, if the child wants to behave, because of all those tiny hindrances, ọmọ yẹn máa ní iṣẹ́ mọ̀ kò ní stable in thought. Ṣẹ́gẹ́ ti kọ́ sí mo sọ yẹn know how to behave, what to do, what to say. Because don't forget that your parental influence is very strong when it comes to raising children.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ṣẹ́gẹ́ ti kọ́ sí mo sọ.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Náà gbogbo àwọn ìjọ wẹ́wẹ́ kéékèèké.
Ọmọlọ́mọ tiẹ̀ ṣòro tán.
Ó ṣòro tán tó èèyàn lè sọ pé báyìí èèyàn lè sọ pé set. What boundaries ló fẹ́ set? I know there is boundaries even within my own children. That if there is love, there should be boundary anyways. And that is when respect comes in. If there are no boundaries, there will not be respect.
Thank you, sis.
Somebody that's respect Jà all the time. I guess so there should be boundaries, regardless love or no shemo. Stepmom me won't like it. She doesn't like untidiness. My stepdad doesn't like this, doesn't like that. So once there are boundaries, there will be respect, and once there is respect, there will be less palaver in that home. But spare other side, Mama, you can never rule that out because mind you, we are not all the same.
Thank you, Kemosik. Now, let me just come to the point. There's a particular point I wanted to emphasize on, and I would like to hear people's opinion on that. But before I do, so that Instagram people will know that I can see them, because for some time I've not been seeing their comments. Somebody said you can't do much so far you are honest. The truth will be out. Okay, I think the person is just trying to buttress your point. Instagram, please keep the comments coming. If I can't see you, I will let you know so that we can go to Facebook. Because for some time, Instagram has been funny. Now, coming back to what you said, ma, the most important thing, Nick back tell me no, that's it. Kò sí ni tó bá gbọ́ ọmọlọ́mọ gòkè odò. Ó máa ní ẹ dúró ẹgbẹ́ mi yẹ, mi fẹ́ jóde bàbá mi fẹ́ jóde ìyá mi. It's very common, but not in all cases. Sometimes love wins, especially if that child has not had a fantastic relationship with their own father. Now, ibo ni bó ṣe jẹ́ pé ọmọlọ́mọ ṣòro tọ́. No, ló ṣe jẹ́ pé bàbá ní bàbá ṣòro fi ṣe bàbá, ìyá ní ìyá ṣòro fi ṣe ìyá o. It goes both ways, because like you said something earlier, you said your children wọ́n wò pé ìyá yìí gan ti ẹ pọ̀. Tí ẹ bá kígbe mọ́mọ bíbí inú ẹ̀ tó bá ranjú tó bá ṣe ọmọ yẹn lè má kà sí. But gẹ́gẹ́ bí alágbàtọ́ bí stepfather or stepmother, nǹkan tí bàbá yẹn máa sọ tó tiẹ̀ tí ní tó nǹkan báyìí ọmọ yẹn lè ti kà sí. You understand? The same thing goes to parents as well. Sometimes as parents, my daughter is one of the most gentle persons you can ever see. But it has happened a few times. Tó ti jára mọ́lẹ̀ tó ti bínú pé leave me alone jọ. Ìwọ ìyá yìí má yọ mí lẹ́nu o. Leave me alone o, and all of that. I didn't count it as big deal. Ọmọ kan ṣe bí ọmọ ni. But tó bá jẹ́ ọmọ ọlọ́mọ ni, I probably will not take it like that. I might take it as pé I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Okay, please come back, because you started this conversation. Now I want us to look at it from that angle. It's because I'm not your daughter. It's because I'm not your son. That's why you're treating me like this. And the parent is also looking at it as how can we strike a balance there? Please, how can we strike a balance where the child is thinking, oh, you're treating me this way because I'm not your biological child? And also the parent is thinking, is it because I'm not the one that parents you directly? Is it because I'm not your dad? Is that why you're doing what you're doing? If I'm your biological father or mother, you cannot treat me like this. Let's talk about that. How can we balance that? How can we balance that angle? Instagram, if you guys are talking, I've not heard anything for some time now. Please keep it coming. Mommy Joanna Luko has joined and I've not heard from her, which is very, very unusual. But yeah, Instagram, so how can we strike a balance? What happened to Kemosik? Let me see. Where is she? Okay. Ha. I think she just came off, and she was one I was reading this question at. Now, if you're online and you want to unmute yourself and talk to me, please feel free to do so. And please, TikTok, keep tapping, oh, keep tapping. Ẹjọ ṣé Instagram fẹ́ ká ṣe kò jẹ́ kó fẹ́ ká ṣe live money? How come mi ìgbọ́n kankan mọ́ ó tún ti lọ? Does anybody know my Facebook? Go to Meet the Royals. I think I'm going to go to Facebook, please. Oh. No, go to Bumi or Shiberu. I'm going to go to Facebook. MC Monite is here on TikTok. Maybe she can't hear me anymore on Instagram. I don't know. Maybe Instagram. Instagram come misbehave like German time. Yeah. So how can we balance it in a situation where the stepchild is thinking it's because you're not and you yourself within yourself, you know you're doing your best. And in a situation where the stepfather or mother is also thinking, tó bá jẹ́ mi ni mo dẹ̀jẹ̀ sí ẹ lójú, o ò lè ṣe báyìí láíláí, Mommy Johnny, look at good evening, ma. I can hear you now. So how do we strike a balance? How do we work it out? As a father, as a mother, or stepfather, or stepmother, you are doing your best. As far as you are concerned, you are doing your best. And this child is not having it, or these children are not having it. Or as a child, you are doing your best. A stepchild, you are doing your best. I'm trying my best to be nice to this man. I'm trying my best to be nice to this woman, but she just not seeing me as, his own. Tó bá jẹ́ pé ilẹ̀ bí mi ni ẹ ní máa ṣe báyìí. Or tó bá jẹ́ mi ni mo bí ẹ, o ní máa ṣe báyìí. How do we work that out? Because that is always the case in most times, most instances. When you ask A will say, mo try best to me fun, but will accept me or something like that. When we talk to B will say, I'm trying my best, but it's just not accepting me. Okay, why is everybody quiet? Please don't be quiet. Let's talk. Let's come on. Let's come on board. Yeah. How can somebody, pardon me, how can somebody be able to manage that? Your TikTok, Emma, keep tapping, don't let the live disappear. Unmute yourself if you want to say anything to me. Unmute yourself and talk to me. How can you balance it? We are sincerely, you are doing your best, but the child is not accepting you as a step parent, or this child is feeling I'm doing my best as stepchild, but this father or mother is just not accepting me. How can we resolve that kind of issue? What can we do to make sure that that doesn't happen? And if nobody is answering that question, I'm going to move on to that. I'm going to move on to the next thing because I'm not going to be the one saying everything here. And I just believe that, like somebody has said earlier, I believe one of the things that is very, very important in this is mutual acceptance. Is very, very important. We cannot overemphasize that mutual acceptance. You cannot call somebody, you cannot love me and not love my child. Impossible. If you love me, you will love my child irrespective. If you love me, you love my child, you will tolerate my child, you will accept my child. And also, if I'm your mother and I've chosen to marry someone that I love, if you actually love me and respect me as a mother, I believe that you will also accept the person I marry and then accept them to be your new parents. However, having said that, sometimes the new face can be very challenging for the children. I think a lot of times we adults, we tend to forget that we are adults. Àwa ti dàgbà, a ti ní orí ọ̀fẹ́ fáwọn nǹkan kan táwọn ọmọdé yóò ní orí ọ̀fẹ́ sí. Sometimes when parents move on from a previous, please, if I'm wrong, correct me. When parents move on from a previous relationship into a new one, they are like the grass where two elephants fight. We adults, we probably have grieved from whatever pain we've received from the previous relationship, and we have decided to come together and move on, and we found love again, and we just want to live our life. But sometimes these children, they grieve. Please, sometimes we need to allow them to grieve. We need to allow them to come to terms to the new change. We need to allow them to give us, and then sometimes as well, the sudden change, we expect them to just accept it like that. Oh, my dad now has a new wife. Everybody should just accept it. Hey, Mama Banker, God bless you, ma. Thank you for joining us, ma'am. We expect that, okay, my husband, my dad has got a new wife. I'm supposed to just accept the woman like that. anyhow, no matter what. No matter how nice that person is, the children might struggle to accept the person because some of them are still grieving from what happened to their mother through their father and vice versa. If I marry a new man and the man is very nice, the man is probably even nicer than their dad, but these children are still grieving. They are still going through the trauma of the fact that our home used to be mommy, daddy, and us, and now there's mommy and there's another new man, or there is daddy and there's another new woman. So sometimes when children are being children, we need to allow them to get over the pain, the agony, the new change, the trauma, whatever is coming from that previous marriage. And please, don't leave me alone to be talking. I'm not a lecturer. I am here to learn from you. Please don't leave me alone. Unmute yourself if you're online, and I want to hear from you. We are talking, for those that are just joining us, we are talking about step parenting and step children. When you're a step parent and you find a step parent and step children, how can they get on together? What are the causes of problem between step parent and step children? We're talking about that, and we're also talking about when two elephants fight, the grass suffers. Sometimes when both parents remarries, the children suffer the pain, they suffer the trauma, they suffer the change, they struggle to adjust, they struggle to adapt to the new relationship. And sometimes their reaction, their attitude towards the new person is not because they hate them per se, but because they are struggling to just suddenly accept the new change. We need to be patient with them. We need to allow them to grieve. We need to allow them. It doesn't matter how long it's going to take them. Some didn't move on quickly. Some don't. Some take forever. Some never even recover from it. I'm telling you, divorce can take a great impact, on the children. So thank you. Let me read comments. Somebody said, Mabanke, welcome on board. Yes, ma'am. Somebody said, a new man, woman that may want you to call mommy, that may want you to call them mommy or daddy. We should allow the affected person heal naturally. Yes, please. Sometimes these children are doing all this not because they hate you. It's because they are trying to process it. It's because they are trying to figure it out. How did we find ourselves here? It used to be mommy, daddy, and us. So now there's a new person. It's not easy for them to just suddenly accept like that. Please give them time. Somebody said, you cannot force love on them. Yeah. Classy Alaga, thank you so much for joining us. Classy Alaga, Siko, we should allow the affected person to heal naturally, and that's just the simple truth. So please, I don't know if you happen to be a step parent, and it's taking, and then sometimes children are also different. Sometimes you bring like five or four, three, four, two, three children into a particular new relationship. You find out that maybe one of them adjusted quickly, the other one is struggling to adjust. You have no idea how it affects them. They are both different. They're not the same. Like a natural anything. If you happen to find yourself in a new relationship, a new marriage, for example, you don't expect that every child that comes from that previous marriage is going to adjust this at the same rate. It could take some people just a short time to adjust to the new man and say, okay, oh, this is my father's new wife, and I've accepted it like that. They have moved on. They are doing their own thing. But one or two of those children might find it very, very difficult to adjust. It might take time, it might take longer time than the previous one. Don't you ever judge that person and say, she might going to accept me as their new mother. And we're going to accept me as their new father. Why is it this one finding it difficult to accept me as their new father or mother? I don't know if I'm making any sense. So step parenting and step children is what we're talking about tonight. Step parents and step children. How we can make sure that the relationship is good, that the relationship is not bad. For those that are just joining us, thank you, mommy Remido, for joining us. Thank you so much, ma'am. So for those that are just joining us tonight, that's what we're talking about. We've talked about so many ways by which we can make sure that the relationship is good, from between the step parents and the step children. We've said both parents need to be truthful and not biased. Do not be biased. We've talked about that. We've talked about mutual acceptance. One of the major and most important points is mutual acceptance. You need to learn to accept the new parents, but it may be slower from one child to another than the other. Allow them to accept you. Don't force your acceptance on them. Don't say, well, I've come and I've come, whether you like it or not. Because the mole yayin lo, because the mole baba yin lo, problem yin niyen. It's either you accept me or you don't accept me. Wahala ti yin niyen. Because the money yayin share lo. Those are the words that you say to them that would never make them accept you. You know, so give them time to heal from the shock of the fact that their their parents' marriage did not work or relationship did not work, and give them time to accept you and do things that will make them accept you. Some people will be mean to them just because they didn't accept them. How am I like me? Wala ti won niyen, ó pẹ́ kó tó má like me. You know, you don't say stuff like that. Those children will never accept you. Then also we said try to put sentiments to one side. Don't be sentimental, especially if you both brought children from both your previous relationship into that marriage. The way you would treat your own children in that marriage is the way you should treat the other children that brought from the other side as well. Now, if you even have children together in that marriage, treat all of them the same way. Take away sentiment. Please, another thing that somebody said that is so important is transfer of aggression. I don't know if anybody understand that. Transfer of aggression. Okay, I am married to this person newly. I have my own children, and he has his own children. Because me and this person, we are not getting on, we are not in good time at this moment. That we need to be mature. We need to get over that. Then we also talked about the roles of exes. Those people that have left they've left the relationship. For example, you are now a man that is married to a new woman, and the new woman has children for you. And the father of those children are now interfering into this new home. That thing can cause serious problem. Try and protect your home from your ex, and as a man, as a woman as well. You know, or those ex that will always call their children and say, hey, it's not your father, oh. Don't let him talk to you anyhow, oh. It's not your mother, oh. Don't let him, all those kind of things. We should stop it. Then we talked about correcting in love. Okay, people, how can we correct in love? I've been the only one talking for the past 5 minutes, and it's not that is not unlike, it's unlike us on this show. Everybody has to participate. Type your comments, unmute yourself. Like somebody said, you cannot force love on them. How can we correct in love? How can we correct in love? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Mommy. I said it's not easy for the children. Yes, the children are the one that suffers most in all of this. Okay, please, if you're online, please unmute yourself. How can we correct in love? At what point does correction become, there's a difference between correction, discipline, and abuse. How can we correct in love?
Good evening, everybody.
Hey, Classy Alaga. Thank you for joining us, ma'am. God bless you. Good evening. God bless you, ma'am. Over to you. Yes, ma'am.
I've been trying to understand the topic, and I've listened very, 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 very well.
Thank you.
I think the best somebody can do in this situation is what the person can do is just try your best. Try your best and try your best. Although in most cases, the other party might see it. They might see your best not being good enough. No matter what you do in most cases, you understand? Just keep doing your best. Keep doing your best.
Okay.
Sure, you understand me?
Yes.
Just keep doing your best. If you want to correct them the way you correct your own children. Whatever you will do to your own children.
Ben. Somebody just said the same. Somebody just said the same earlier.
Yes, let me quickly share one experience. Let me share an experience.
Yes.
One day I gave my daughter an instruction.
Yeah.
Hello, are you with me?
Yes, I am.
I gave my daughter an instruction. This is my own biological daughter.
Yeah.
Before leaving the house that day, I told her to wash the clothes in the laundry. The washing machine, I went out And when I got back, I got back home very late in the night. I think it should be around 9:30 to 10 or something like that. I think I went for an event. On getting home, I discovered the clothes I had to wash. Do you know what I did? Initially, I wanted her to use washing machine. I packed those clothes outside.
Oh, yeah, love for.
And I made sure she washed everything
with bare hands.
Yes. She understand. So just as in, you can never be perfect. You can never be perfect. You can never be perfect.
Thank you.
Do what you know you can do. Do your best and leave the rest.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Classy Alaga. I really appreciate
times,
you.
In most cases, at times, as they grow.
Mongbo Ima.
Hello, ma'am.
Mongbo ma. Mongbo.
At times, if such a person continue using love, she understand. With time, there's nothing love cannot overcome. There's nothing love cannot overcome. With time, gradually, I'm very sure that one day, the affected person will come to realize that. And there's nothing they can do about it.
That's true.
So it may take a longer time, but surely everything will still be resolved.
Oh, God bless you. God bless you, sis. I'm really grateful for that particular point you've just made now. You've said 3 things that I'm going to repeat again. I'm going to echo it. Thank you, Classy Alaga, for that beautiful contribution. Number 1, try your best. And when you are talking about your best, we cannot see your mind, but God sees your mind. Make sure that you are trying your very best. Don't do the bare minimum and be like, "Won't try best to me. Won't try best to me." That is your point. You know within yourself if you're trying your best or not. And when we're saying trying your best, it's not just from the parents to the children, also the children as well. Because there are some times that some children are very good, they are very nice to the step parents, but they are still not, getting what they expected from them back. It has to go both ways. Try your best. Then you did say something, Classy Alaga, which is very, very important. You said about people that it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. That is one of the mistakes we are making. Ìyẹn tẹ máa ń fa wàhálà mo ti ṣe lánàá mo ṣe léni kò change tó o bá ti change that's it wàhálà tí ẹnìyẹn. Rome was not built in a day. Remember that this child has been raised by a different person entirely before you. Allow them to adjust, give them time. Also, children, give the parent time to get used to. Everybody has their own style of parenting. So you need to understand that. And the fact that this person is like this to you is not because you're somebody else's child. What you about feel more and more. You got see Classy Alaga something tó tún wà important yẹn owó tó bá fi mú àwọn ọmọ tiẹ̀ ni kò fi mú. When the children are beginning to see that ó ń ṣe báyìí fáwọn ọmọ tiẹ̀ but ó ń ṣe báyìí fún àwa, that is where the problem starts. In your mind, with your conscience, are you sure that you are treating them equally? Are you sure they are treating them as in the way you should treat both of them? There should not be any difference or discrimination. So God bless you, Classy Alaga. Please feel free to unmute yourself. Let me read what people are saying on Instagram as well. And someone said, I can hear you. Thank you. Someone said, we can hear you. Thank you. Treat them with love. Thank you, Mommy Joanne. Lucas says that. On Instagram, thank you for joining us. It's been a while. Yao Baba said exactly my point. You can never please everyone, even your own children have ways of rebelling on things. Now I'm going to that. That's what I'm about to go into. When children rebel, and how do we handle it as step parents when children are rebellious? I like that. Thank you, Yahoo Baba. When children are rebellious, especially those teenagers, how do we handle it? Mo fẹ́ kọ́gbọ́n o. Because ṣe ra àwọn teenagers yẹn tí wọ́n ló le jù o. How do you cope? Mama Banke, unmute yourself. I want to learn from your wealth of knowledge. Especially when the children are rebellious, you know that these children, they are doing it on purpose. Wọ́n kàn ṣá kàn fẹ́ show ara wọn ṣá ni. It's not as if I've done something, or they're just being, rebellious and stuff like that. For example, I have teenagers in this house. My daughter is now a grown adult. When she was teenagers, Sometimes that girl will be in her room for like, Mama Loma, you're telling me, are you okay? Did I do something? Did I say something? At times, as parents, you just be checking yourself. Kí la tún ṣe báyìí táwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ tó tún ti wọ mute. They'll just go on mute, they'll just go on mute, and then that exactly that's what you say they should do, they will do the opposite. What you say they should not do, they will, that's exactly what they will do. So how do we handle rebellious teenagers, especially rebellious children? Yeah, Baba said, do unto others what you will want them to do unto you. Be ye old or young. Okay, thank you, ma. I am waiting for people to tell me how do I handle when when a child is being rebellious, especially stepchildren. When they are being rebellious, you know that you can't shake it just to get me. Enjoy you. I want to learn. Please unmute yourself for your comments. How do I handle? How do I go about it as a parent, as a step parent? How do I go about it when children are being rebellious? And I know that on purpose, they are doing it on purpose. They're just being rebellious. I know that they're just trying to get under my skin, or that if you are in the marriage but you don't you don't have children. Okay. Somebody said, what do you do if you're in a marriage, you don't have children, but you have your wife's children? Okay. Okay. We've been talking about, somebody said, in most cases, the male children are the ones that does not get over the situation quickly. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. It may never happen. You cannot force love on them. Okay, somebody's asking a question as well. Somebody said, what about if in that marriage you don't have your own children, but you only have your spouse's children? What do you do? Someone said sometimes they can try you, but love wins. Okay, just be patient with them. We are talking about what to do when children are purposely being rebellious. My 20 years old baby, Yao Baba said, my 20-year-old baby of the house will correct me and my husband, and we will enter our room jeje. Sometimes they can try you, but love wins. Okay. Just be patient with them. Love can go beyond life's expectations. Okay. I did ask a question, that how do you, as a step parent, how do you handle a child that you know that this child, he just wants to get under my skin on purpose. What do I do? They've answered also. The person that is talking does not have stepchildren. Your Baba does not have any stepchildren, and she's not going to have any, So she said, but her own 20-year-old will sometimes talk to her and her husband, and sometimes they will just enter in their room and go and be sitting and pray. If that child was your stepchild, would you have reacted the same way, ma? Yawo Baba. And Mommy Joa, sometimes they can try you, but love wins. They can try you, but love wins. So somebody also said, please be patient with them. It may take time. Love can go beyond life's expectations. Mommy Joanna, look on those. Okay, I want to hear more from people. I can hear someone that their mic is unmuted. What do you do when you have a rebellious teenager, especially in your, what do you do? How do you handle it? Especially when they are not your biological, they are your spouse's child, or they are your child from your spouse's previous relationship. Somebody said it could be both male and female. Sometimes a girl child are more boisterous. Mommy Joanna, look on. She said sometimes the girls can be more boisterous. Okay, let me hear from you, Mama Banke. Are you trying to tell me something?
You see, the situation is, we have to remember, these children did not invite these new parents into their lives. Their own parents invited them. And they don't have to like that person. Especially if their mother or father is somewhere else. Because we have to remember, their loyalty is always going to be to their actual parents and not to the step parents. And one day, all decide where I want to love step parents. Because you can't tell you, There's just nothing. Yawo Baba Temi, I never referred to her as stepmother. She was always my father's wife, never my stepmother. Because she was only so many years older than me. She was only about 7 or 8 years older than me. So, so she was my father's wife, and that was that.
But apart from the age, is there any reason? Is there any other reason why you just didn't accept her as your stepmother, but just as your father's wife? Apart from the fact that she's not
because my mother was there.
Okay, your mother was there in this case. Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Okay, because that's a different thing though. That's another thing. There are some situations where the mother is still there.
Yeah.
In the case of a woman, both of them can be in the house. In the case of a man, it's not possible for a woman to be married to two men.
No.
The man must have gone. But in some cases, the mother is married to a new man, and in some cases, the man is married to a new woman while the mother is still there. And there are some situations where the mother is not there. Sorry, ma, I don't want this comment to run away. Let me quickly read this comment, ma, before you proceed. I'm sorry. Please don't forget what you were saying. Somebody said, be ready for whatever comes your way. Be ready for whatever comes your way. There's nothing you can do. Just let them be. Somebody said, please help. It is well, oh, it is well with your daughter. And it's true. Okay, this is somebody that's looking for. Okay, we'll talk about that one later. Okay, so somebody has said that we should take it as it comes. No, what? And somebody is buttressing your points, ma. Mama Banke, somebody said you cannot force them to love you. Give them time. Okay, so I just wanted to know if just because of the age, but now you have just said it, your mother is still there. That's another thing. My mother is still there. My father go carry another.
So these are all. There are so many scenarios that could happen in any of these situations, and like if the child's mother is still somewhere, even if they're not in the same home, but as long as the child's mother is there, then the child's mother too might be looking for trouble, might be putting ideas in the child's head about the stepmother. There is that. So when the child gets back to the father's house, the child might not be cooperative with the stepmom. There's that. You just can't. There's nothing you can do. You just live with it. Try and live out the situation as well as you can. And then you do. I think younger children are a bit more receptive to those sort of situations than older children, because the older the child is, the more they understand the scenario and what is going on. And they have formed their opinions about whoever is coming into their home too.
I see. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Now, ma'am, somebody was asking earlier. He said, how about in a situation whereby you didn't bring any child into the relationship? It's only your spouse that brought a child into the relationship. You didn't bring any child, because we're talking about it could be both ways. Maybe both of you brought children from your previous relationship into that relationship, but this person is actually asking particularly that, what about when I did not bring any child, but your spouse brought children into the relationship? How can the person navigate, especially when you have not been opportune to probably parent any child from your previous relationship? You don't have experience and stuff, but you came into this relationship, accept this person as a single mother of with a number of children, and you're not finding it easy. So you said, how can you navigate it? How can you can you talk about that?
It depends on how old the children are. If they're very young children, then you have to treat them like children. But if they're a bit older, then maybe you have to treat them like brother or sister, like you're more a sister or a brother to them, than, because that's the only way you can deal with it. Since you don't have experience of dealing with children, it will be very difficult to just strike up a parent relationship with a child, especially if you've never been a parent. It will be very difficult with dealing with it. And in a lot of cases, especially living in the West, a lot of times the children will straightforward tell you, "You are not my parents." They will tell you that.
Children, even children that you gave birth to sometimes can do stuff that will make you feel like shame. There are some children are different, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, but it hits harder when you're not really their parent and they do certain things to you. Look at it. Definitely, the first thing that will come to your mind is that will be the first thing that will come to your mind. But forgetting that sometimes your own children. In fact, I've said to my son one day, I said, "Ibo gan ni mo ti rí ìwọ ọmọ yìí, ibo mo ti rí ẹ he." As in, ibo mo ti rí ẹ no. How did I? Where was I going? Did I find you this speaking? So I think one thing again that parents like that need to be at the back of their mind is the fact that they are not doing it to you because you are their father or you are not their father. Sometimes children can be very, very funny, but it hurts. It hits differently when you are not the parents. If it's the parents, you probably not look at it from that angle, But if you're not the parents, it makes it a bit harder. Instagram, I can't hear you anymore. Please say something. No, say something. I just believe that no parenting is easy. Please correct me if I'm wrong. No parenting is easy. It's entirely easy. Even parents that are both parents raising the child that they both have, you are not going to always agree on them, which is going to bring me to the next question. Please, if you're online, unmute yourself. If you're on Instagram, say something. Now, they said where two elephants fight, the grass suffers. As the biological parents, you brought your children into a new marriage or relationship, and your children are not getting on with your spouse. What are the implications of this on the spouse, whether the man or the woman? Okay, mímú làwọn ọmọ yìí, mo fẹ́ yàwó, àwọn ọmọ mi ò get on pẹ̀lú ìyàwó mi. Àbí èmi mú làwọn ọmọ yìí, mo fẹ́ ọkọ, àwọn ọmọ mi àtọkọ mi wọn ò get on. Báwo mo ṣe lè ṣe? Ọgbọ́n wo ni mo lè dá tí ó fi jẹ́ pé orí mi ò ní yí? Because it is the grass that suffers. So the best thing is when everybody live happily ever after. If things are not right, which side do you go to? Is it the side of the children or the side of the husband? Or how do you cope? How do you manage that bit? Please unmute yourself. Tell me, talk to me. Somebody somewhere might be learning from this. When my children don't get on with my spouse, kí ni mo máa ṣe as the real and the biological children? Instagram, talk to me. Everybody's gone quiet though. And where did Kemosi go, Seth? He's the one that's always hitting the nail on the head. Yeah? People, what do you do when you brought your children from previous relationship into the new relationship and they don't get on with your spouse, with your new spouse? As a parent, do you go towards your children or you go towards your husband? Or how do you strike a balance? How do you make sure that, you are balanced between the two of them? Somebody said you will try as much as possible to talk to your children, okay? Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I think the best thing to do,
Yeah.
the best thing to do as a mother is to call your own children. Call your children and talk to them very well. Let them see the bright side of things, especially a woman that is coming from an abusive marriage. You understand? Let them know that the new father they have really loves them. He's not in their life to compete with the love of their father or whatever. He's there to play his own part, to play his own role. That's on the part of the children. Then you as the wife now go to your new husband, talk to him too. At least okay with the children. It will take time for them to come out of the situation. It will take time for them to heal. It will take time for them to understand everything. I wrote something in the comment section some times ago that this thing mostly happens to the male children, especially the grown-up ones. A woman now that has a son, the son will see the father as which English will I even use? Yes, as someone that is trying to compete with him, trying to share the love of his mother with him. And in most cases, God said, "Also, mama baba won't go, mama baba."
Oh my Joe on behalf of their dad.
Yes, mama baba. See, this one
Wait.
I've seen something like that in real life. I've seen something like that in real life. That anytime the boy enters the house like this, probably stepfather he will just come out of the house immediately.
Oh my goodness.
So it's not something that will just happen suddenly.
Sorry, ma.
The mother has a lot of work to do. She has a lot of work to do. Just to balance up the whole situation.
Okay. So, are you saying, ma, that this cannot happen from female child, number one? Number two, does it have to always be from man to woman? What about when the child does not accept the mother as well? Classy Alaga, can you still hear me?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am, with you. It can happen to both the man and the woman. It can happen to either of them. So when it happened, the affected person should know how to, correct things, make things work out. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
If he's the man should talk to his children, talk sense into them, let them see the new wife as their mother. Then just vice versa.
Hey, Joma, you wanted to say something? Somebody said then it should go. Let me read what somebody said. Somebody said, experience is the best teacher. My take is to educate and make your children understand. Okay. Somebody said you will try as much as possible to talk to their children. Okay. Somebody said that their actions are affecting your happiness, which is good. Then it should go back to if he's not listening, he should go back to his father. Somebody said, I quite agree with you. Mothers have a lot to do. Okay. Somebody said, can call a meeting and tell them your mind. Give everyone opportunity to speak their mind and come to a conclusion on the way forward. Somebody that is coming from your Baba on Instagram. You wanted to say something, ma'am? Delicious. Are you still there, ma? Please, if you want to say something.
I wanted to say it is not gender based.
Yeah.
When Classy Alaga said
female or male, yeah.
When the child is a male child, they always rebel against the partner or whatever. It could be any child. And one thing about it, I'm reading comments. One thing about this situation is that what if you have spoken to your child as a man, say, accept my wife, Abi as a woman, accept this man. Is better than your father. You don't even need to say it's better than your father. This man has not come to take the position of your father. He's just here to be a dad. Whatever you need, he will be there, blah, blah, blah. You've spoken to your child. Or to say, buy your words or my dear, whatever Tomo, you buy she phone, accept your mother, or she heal. Abiboya, yeah, loco silori. I can see, because obviously you will know the pattern of your ex. Or maybe it's from the wife as well that they're saying, my dear, Baba, my local silori, I've seen it on me, Riba Italia, and all of that. See, B, do you want to kill the woman? Abi you feel pain, it's all in between. You want to kill, how do you're not putting this other person that is in the middle of the child and the new spouse. You are not putting them into consideration. Now you have left them in between the deep blue sea. Share omo eniko side ni abi iyawo eniko side. Abi share omo eniko side ni aboko eniko side. Because Yoruba, they would always say omo ni oni shedi bebere kafi ileke sidi omo elomi. You understand what that means? You cannot have a lovely child and you've got beautiful beats. You call a neighbor's daughter, obviously, Sorry for my way on this program.
Yeah. Am I worry away? I need it. I think I know what you're saying, ma. Yeah, I understand. That's why I asked question from Classy Alagakwe. Is it gender based? It's not gender based. Number one, she has clarified that.
Okay, now you have spoken to your partner. You have spoken to your children, either as a man or as a woman. What do you do in a situation like that?
Okay, let me leave it open. For those that are just joining us, we're talking about step parents and stepchildren, and how they can get on, without trouble. Now we've said a lot of things. It's been a while we've been on this show, and now a question has come up. Chemostic, I understand it. Yeah, welcome back. We come to a point where somebody is now asking a question. People have been saying, talk to your children, talk to your spouse as well. They need to have mutual acceptance. They need to do a lot of things that come up. You have to avoid the roles of your ex and blah, blah, correct in love, set boundaries. So many things have been said. Now, a question has popped up. What do you do in a situation where your partner is not yielding and your child is not also yielding? Bàbá ò gbà, ìyá ò gbà, ọmọ ò gbà. Mo ti bá ìyàwó mi sọ̀rọ̀ pé jọ̀ọ́ mi accept àwọn ọmọ ìbọn ṣe rí ọmọdé ló ń ṣe wọn ní sùúrù fún wọn ṣe gbá kò gbà. Mo dẹ̀ ti bá ọmọ gan sọ̀rọ̀ pé ní sùúrù ìyàwó tuntun tí mo ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ fẹ́ yìí ìyá yín ni accept ẹgbẹ́ àkọ àwo kan wọn méjèèjì ò gbà. Now the woman in the middle, how can she handle that? Ṣé ọmọ ló máa ní ṣo fẹ́ gbọ́ wọ́n bí báyìí mo láyé tèmi láti jẹ́ ọkọ mi ni máa support, or bàbá ló àbí ìyàwó mi ni máa support, or it's going to say to the bàbá or ìyàwó pé wọ́n bí ìyàwó ni ẹ́ ó máa lọ ọmọ mi ni máa support. How can she go about it? MC Mona says, sincerely, the child or children in question should go back to their mother or father if they want. Okay, that's somebody's opinion. What's your opinion on it? Please talk to me, everybody. I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? What's your opinion on this?
If I'm the mother or the wife. Hello, ma, can you hear me?
Benny, we can hear you, ma.
Hello.
We can hear you, ma.
Okay. And the mother of those children, I will keep talking. I will keep talking. I will never be tired of talking. I'll keep talking. Although I know things cannot just happen suddenly. But I shall know one day, something will shall happen. One thing will lead to the other. And the two parties will realize that they need to come together.
Thank you.
She understand. Let me quickly share this. Let me share this experience, ma.
Benny.
Somebody I know very, very, very well. She has been married for years. And the former husband happens to be somebody that is nonchalant. She anybody. She understands.
Yeah.
So when she eventually leave the man and she remarried, now this new husband happens to be somebody that is very, 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 very caring. Although at first, the children from the other marriage refused to accept the man, especially the male child. That was why I was hammering on that
male child.
Especially the male child. The male child actually gave the man a very, very tough time. Do you know that after everything, something happened in that family? I don't want to mention it here. Something happened to one of the children that made the other one to realize that he had to succumb. He had to love the man. So at times when, as the mother, when you are not, when you don't allow yourself to get tired, you keep talking every day. Let them, just keep talking, keep doing the talking, and God on your side. Amen. It will shall work out to me.
Amen. Thank you, ma. Thank you so much.
Once you give up like this, the whole family will not come together again.
Thank you, ma.
Once you give up like this, the whole family will not come. It will not, in fact. Could it make sense, Morara? Just keep trying your best.
Continue, trying to be the advocate between them. Somebody saying, how old is the child in the first place? We are just talking generally. We're not talking about a particular child. It could be any child. It could be young. It could be old. They said, where is the real mother? The real mother is gone, or the real father is gone to do their own life. These ones are now. I think this person is just joining us. This couple are now together.
Hello.
Now, hello, sir.
Sorry, can I come in?
Yes, sir. Please feel free. Sorry, sir. 1 second. Let me just read this comment before it disappears. On Instagram, somebody said, I will give the two of them an ultimatum. Somebody said, love me, love my kids to the partner, then I would advise the child that they are free to choose who they want to stay with. Female child can be more boisterous and wants to be daddy's girl. Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. That's coming from Joanna Look on Mommy Joanna Look on Instagram. Okay, over to you, sir. Sorry to cut you short. I just didn't want that message to disappear.
Thank you, everyone. I've really learned a lot this evening.
Thank you, sir.
And Mama Banke, if I get the name wrong, I know.
Yes.
And Class Laga. One of the things also has been very, very educative. I just want to commend you. And then secondly, like I'm in the scenario, and I would say it's tough for me. Tough in the sense that I've really learned a lot there and I want to continue to learn. In the sense that you come in without a baggage, without what I mean that no children. It's just you alone. And genuinely you love the mother. She has a baggage, maybe 3-4 children, okay? And you come in and right from day one, you threw your hands opened. They are, I want me to lay my tongue. You understand?
Yes, sir.
But along the line, like you said, your man is through. And one thing I've learned about one of the things, thank God I have an understanding wife that's been very, very supportive. I need to commend her because I know it's not easy on her side, on my side, and everything. And at the end of the wife who wants to be neutral, not to be kidding. But what I see, and I'm still battling, maybe from my background of where I come from.
Yes,
come from sense that my growing up, it was one neat family. You sit down on the table, eat, and everything like that. There's a love there. So are you now coming to another relationship? You want to replicate the same way you were brought up. Okay, let's be one family. But you're constantly making barriers and everything like that. It could be frustrating because are you going wrong? And you're one person that, like I said, maybe you're a caring person. You want to comment, but you need to be careful because the wife does think you're talking too much. But your nature is not to keep mute or, how will I say it, say something and don't say because you don't want to offend.
Look away, yeah.
You look away. And your nature is not to look away. So in such instance, what you do, you've been told that, okay, it's not your home alone that is happening. It happens everywhere. It's happening every home. You get.
Yes, I got your point, sir. Did we get the point? Please, I want someone to please respond. Did we get the question?
So what I'm saying is that if not for the wife that is very understanding, but human, they get to say that she too should say, am I getting it wrong? Am I getting it right? So I don't want it to degenerate to that level. Because you know yourself that, okay, I love this woman from the youth, this woman, you love that, you want to be with her. But these obstacles is costing a lot of things because would you live with someone that is very disrespectful to you and you're told to turn the other eye? It's depressing for me personally. Because I look at it that how would I, how you ban me? If you get what I'm saying. So how would I wake up and I know there's someone in there that will never say good morning or good afternoon, good evening. And I'm told to live with it. I'm told to look away. It's hard on me. That I said I'm learning here and I've learned one or two things here.
Thank you, sir. Sorry, can anybody please respond to this? Class Alaga, did you get the question, ma? It's tough, sir. Okay, so can somebody please respond? Do I have anybody that want to respond to this before I say what I want to say? Can anybody respond? I'm not sure if people are still online. I can see that people are there. Okay. Somebody said it is tough, sir. It's not an easy task. Yes. Somebody said we are all entitled to happiness. We are not supposed to be insecure in our own home. Yeah. What I just want to say here, number one, I think it is not a pleasant feeling to anybody. It's not pleasant. But then I want to say, please, if I'm wrong, everybody should please correct me. One major point that we need to bear in mind here is the fact that we have children that are doing that to their parents, biological parents. If I'm right, please, if I'm wrong, please correct me. We have children that are doing that to their. In fact, I've been privileged to counsel a lot of people. Sorry, I have to mute. If you want to unmute anytime, please feel free to do so. I have been privileged to counsel a lot of families. In fact, I have a case that I'm working on currently at the moment. It is the mother. This woman is the biological parent of these two girls. I'm telling you, this is not even a case of step. This woman have the opinion that the dad is instigating the girls against her, and it's a tough one. It's a big deal. Every time I talk about it, the woman is always so distressed and feeling that why should I not be able to talk to my own children? I'm 17, 19, So we're not talking about in this one. So we're not talking about what's it called now? We're not talking about stepchildren on this occasion now. Now the question I want to ask is, sir, if this child happens to be your biological child and they are doing this, what would you do? Please unmute yourself, sir. What would you do? How would you handle it? If this was your biological child, if it's not from your wife's previous marriage or something, if it's yours, what would you do? I'm not saying what this person is doing is okay. I'm not saying what this child is doing is okay, but I just want to find out, how would you have handled it?
Thank you, man. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying the wife is doing something wrong. Okay, but
no. I mean the child. I'm not referring to the wife. The child. Yeah, the child.
If the child was mine, I would say that. Okay, I'll raise my hand to be the child. I will definitely raise my hand to smack the child. But it's like, because it's not my daughter, there's restraint. Okay, and I'll down the concept of it. I'll say, come on, in I don't know how to say. With me, I'll come out and beat the child.
Okay, how old is this child we are talking about? We're talking about, is it
about 18?
Is it in this part of the world or in Nigeria?
It's in this part of the world. You see, that's the problem. We don't lay your hands on your children at this part of the world. Why?
Well, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
That's another topic of discussion. That's why we all fall in that line that it's happening everywhere. It's happening everywhere because you know what I'm saying? But because we're saying we're in the Western world, like you said, why am I interested? Because
not that it's because we are not allowed to. It's because of the law. It's because of the law. Left to a lot of parents from the part of the world where we come from. I don't know why everybody's keeping quiet. I would love people to talk and comment on this. Everybody's gone quiet. Somebody said I will put a firm boundaries that if you want to stay under my roof, you have to follow my rules. What happens if they don't follow your rules and there's nowhere to send them to? And obviously in this part of the world as well, we have to be careful. A lot of children, if you push them out, they're happy to go out. They will go. But what will become of them? If you want to stay under my roof, you have to follow my rules. That is one of the shakaras that we can do for these children, like somebody rightly said.
If they stay under your roof and they're not listening to you, we didn't know the same scenario that they're outside, because in the room they're living their own world. They're living their own things. He's not listening to you, he's not listening to the mother. So what the Bushman told her, because there's no difference. You can't talk to the person.
Okay.
So what the I don't know. It's a bit.
It is tough. It's tough.
It's tough. She has the wisdom, and I thank God for that.
It's very tough.
Wake up and pray. Because I know the kind of burden she's carrying.
Somebody, yes.
I don't feel, I want a normal life, and I won't lie to you, it's depressing to me. It's painful.
I can imagine.
I'm looking at the person as my daughter. So at the time I wake up, I'm like, why would my daughter behave this way? You know, so it's kind of a bit of depressing for me that, okay, you have to look away. You have to, you know, but like we say,
sorry, before you go, sir, let me read these two comments. Somebody said, it's not easy to beat a grown-up or somebody now said, you should ignore her, sir. Somebody said, you must apply wisdom. If not, the situation will go out of hand. And somebody also said, the law does not permit beating or hitting. Now, the question again I want to ask, sir, what is the mother doing? What effort has the mother put into this? What's the mother doing? What has she done?
The mother has put in 100% effort. I will commend the mother. I'm not being partial or anything like that. She's put in a lot of efforts. I can see that. And I know it's pain on our side too. It's painful for her. Because I know that she will now look at it and say, this is not the way to move. Bring mommy up. Why the turn around like this? Which is painful for a mother too. You know. So, you know, like I said, I don't know. I've learned the law here. I will apply that. And I've even said, you know, I just pray for God's wisdom and I pray for the patience to give me more understanding. But, you know, you just look at it that this is not the kind of life you want to live.
I know. Like there's a price to pray for everything. Yeah, I know.
Exactly. When you say that someone that you love the person, you want that love to radiate, you want that love with the children. And you now look yourself, when you're single, why did that, you know, but I don't know, you entered it, you know, like you said, you didn't enter a relationship with to pull out. So it's for better, for worse. So, you know, I pray for God's more wisdom.
Amen. Amen.
You're single. Why didn't you go for a single person? But you saw the qualities in that. That's why you said, okay.
Even the single person have their own issues. There is no perfect relationship.
You know, thank you for tonight very much. Really,
thank you so much, sir.
Everybody,
Ami Jesu. Ami sir. Ami Jesu. Ami sir. I am still reading comments. Somebody said 18-year-old is an adult. Somebody said, please, you should ignore her. Sometimes that's what they know they want. Just ignore her. Somebody said, you don't need to push them out. But if they are grown up, then it means they can handle things. Somebody says, if your wife can not correct her, it's not as if it's her fault. Somebody said, prayer is the master key. Now, I just want to say a couple of things to you, sir, personally.
Hello, ma. Sorry to interrupt you, ma.
No problem.
I just want to quickly ask something before the uncle. Uncle, from all the story you have said, from all what you have said about I can see here, you are a very gentle and nice man. And keep it up. It pays. I pray that God will reward you.
Amen, Jesus.
It's not easy to be going through such. Even when you have such child as your own biological child, it's tough. But at the same time, we have said something before you joined the program, and that is where we set setting boundaries. And I think this is where boundary comes in. Setting boundaries doesn't necessarily mean you don't love the person. As a matter of fact, it comes when there is love. If you want to give me problem, most especially when something is affecting me psychologically, I cannot stand it. I don't want anything to torture me, not even in my own house. I said to a child of mine one day, that's why she would say, oh, Mommy, you are mean, you are not nice. If you cannot, go by my rules in this house, my dear, the door is open. Me or hate, if you need support, feel free to call me. Because I cannot wait to wake up to rudeness. And if I start telling my child that that means I'm stupid. You shouldn't be telling my child that I am your mother. So that is where the boundary needs to be set. Regardless, there should be boundary. Oh, the man in possible. Is it that I go by my rules? How can you wake up in the morning and not say good morning to me? How? Most especially, I need to room for them yet. You want to sit down with your family, you want to wine and dine with them, you want to chat, you want to watch movie with them, and then suddenly a child is behaving like he's 18. Anybody so back 18 is an adult. Even when they have appointments parents or anything. They will say they are responsible for their future. So if that's the case, my dear, I will help you. If you need help, feel free to contact us. You can make your way. Hey. And then one day, I realized that people use but I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm sounding mean.
No. You're not sounding mean. You're not sounding mean. I think if I may interrupt you, ma'am, I think we have to understand that when it comes to situations like this, it's not a case of one heart fits all. You have to know the type of child you're talking about. Some children, all they are waiting for is for you to send them out, and they will go, and God forbid, they carry come up with your buru. You understand? So that's why I'm yes. Mi wà tó bá lóhùn lọ tẹ́ bá jẹ́ kó lọ ọkàn yín máa balẹ̀ pé kí ni ó máa wà all right. And but there are some children that even while they àwọn ọmọ tó bá dé ìṣirú nǹkan tẹ́ ń stand sọ yìí, àwọn ọmọ tó bá rí báyìí Ọlọ́run kó bá yàn dì wọ́n mú ni. Inú ilé tó wà gan kéèyàn má sùn kó má jíjọ́ kan kó má bá wọn níbi tó ti ṣera wọn léṣe sí. Do you understand? So that's why we have to be careful. There are some children that they can hurt themselves because of situations like this. And one thing again that happened the last time when we were talking about how to handle disability, when a parent working and everything, the woman that came on board is a professional. She said certain things.
Oh, sorry, is the child?
No. No, she's not. I'm just citing an example. Only pay until you have studied this person. What about if that child is going through mental breakdown? What about if that child is already suicidal? You understand? They will say, yeah, in fact, they will not even say it nicely. One in tori kini to enjoy lára ọkọ tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ fẹ́ ló ṣe mú ọmọ tó ti bí tó ti dàgbà tó lè dànù síta. They will even sọ bàbá yẹn gan lẹ́nu. Wọ́n á ní ṣe torí pé kò ní láti ibi tó ti ń bọ̀ ló ṣe ní kíyàwó ẹ̀ lé ọmọ ẹ̀ síta. We have to be careful. And we have to be careful in the sense that àgbàlagbà no máa expect pé kó gbà wọ́n lágbà ló ń gbà. Ọmọ kékeré náà máa pe ti bí Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ àjẹbí. It is not an easy pill to swallow. Don't get me wrong. It's tough. It is tough. And that's why I kept on
complicated.
Very, very complicated. And that's why I'm saying that when it comes to this case, normally in context where you go. Mo ti réyàn rí ọ̀rẹ́ mi kan, one of my friends. Géńdé ọkùnrin mẹ́rin ló bí, gbogbo àwọn mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin tó jọkùnrin mẹ́fà ló bí, ẹyọ kan pé ni obìnrin nínú àwọn ìlú yìí náà wà. Ẹyọ kan nìkan lóbìnrin nínú àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀. You know that this person fúnra rẹ̀ ó ti pọ̀ ọlọ́pàá rí. Hello? Please, this is police. Is it police? Please, I need to come to my house. My boys, they think they are not too big. Yeah. Kékeré wíní méjì tó kù ló bí fún bàbá tó wá láti ibòmíì. Àwọn mẹ́rin tó kù ó kó wọn wá láti abusive relationship kan ni, but bàbá ẹni they still prefer their father despite the fact that their father is mental. You understand? So they were stressing this woman one day, and the woman, she exaggerates. So I'm talking about what happened real life. Anything with them, so it could feel good. That's why I can cite the example here. Hello, is that the police? I have some boys here. They are notorious. They won't let me. Please come and carry them. And the police actually came. You understand? It was easier for her to do that by herself because doing that will not create problem for her. But if you know that doing that will actually make things worse, and you do it, if anything happens at home, they don't care. I started an example here last time of a couple that they are Muslims, and they want their son to learn Quran. And when they were saying she's step parent, they want their children to learn Quran. And the boy is just not having it. Learn Quran, get it. Inú bí bàbá yẹn bàbá yẹn fi bínú lu ọmọ yẹn bọ́mọ yẹn ṣe dákẹ́ nìyẹn àti ìyá àti máa yẹn àti ìyá, they are not step they are the biological children, àti ìyá àti bàbá gbogbo méjèèjì wọ́n wà lẹ́wọ̀n bí mo ṣe ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀. That's what I'm saying. No, you can cite example different things that one can, you can say, he said that if it's my child I will beat him. You understand? He said so. If it's my child. you know, ọmọ tí mò ń sọ pé ìyá wọn bí mẹ́fà yìí, àwọn ọmọ yẹn wọ́n ti yọwọ́ sí, wọ́n ti ṣe báyìí sí ọkọ ìyá wọn rí. You understand? It's a very tough one. It's a very tough one.
It's complicated, but like I said, prayer, you know, mama, prayer run a lot. Anything that anything cover my heart feelings, cover my back in feel, cover my affect me psychologically, mentally. I don't like it. I don't do it.
Yeah, and yeah, you are right. Nǹkan tó wà ń bẹ̀ ni wípé gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń sọ yìí, it still boils down to ability to make sure that things don't go bad worse than it already is. You know. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody said there are some step parents that do something bad to their stepchildren but pretend. I don't know about that too. Somebody said they pretend.
I don't know about that, but another thing is
somebody said just keep on loving the girl genuinely. Ẹ má bínú mọ́ mi, ìfẹ́ káwọn kíní yìí sá lọ ní àwọn comment yìí. Somebody said you must apply.
It can happen. And it happens. One big family, you won't even know who is who.
It takes the grace of God. It takes the grace of God, though, I'm telling you. And of course, this is why we parents are always on edge, that they would hurt themselves. What if the parent becomes wrecked because of a child? Sometimes when you do Benny, somebody said sometimes what you do can yes, somebody said what you do can make them and can shake them and their brains. God will help us. Now, what this person is saying here is another thing that I want us to pay attention to. And somebody said the issue is it can happen to anybody, but God should help us. Now, the major thing here is we have to find the best solution to the situation. We have to do everything to make sure that it doesn't go from bad to worse. We have to be able to control our emotions. And I am not saying that we should continue to accept rubbish or tolerate rubbish, but we have to go about it in a way that we have to find a way of doing it, and we have to be very, very patient. There's a saying that you know, I'm not saying and most of children like that, they're just rebellious. But down within them, they have love. Sometimes love wins. Sometimes, again, what I do, you know, my son is 17, going to 18. He's got special need. It's non-verbal. But we are trusting God for him to heal. Do you know that sometimes that boy does things to me and I'm like, despite the fact that he's got special need, we have to understand that there's certain age as well that these children do stuff that we cannot even, you know, we've all been there. We're not you understand? That does not mean that when we're doing that rubbish, they didn't tolerate us. They were telling us off. They were correcting us. We want discipline. And that's why I want us to also be able to draw the line between love, correction, discipline, and abuse. You know, there are 4 things. Love the child is good. You can correct the child, but when you're correcting the child, correct the child in love. Then there's a difference between discipline and abuse. You can discipline a child without saying a word. You can discipline a child without saying a word. And another thing, it's not worth it. It takes a lot of patience. I'm not going to lie. I have tried to put myself as uncle was talking, but but also I thought about it, it takes a lot of patience, a lot of grace of God, and we also have to bear in mind, as I said earlier, that wherever 2 elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. The mother can never ever be happy with what is going on. She herself cannot have peace of mind because she will be in a fix. Okay, tanikimu. She Ṣé máa ní kí ìyàwó máa lọ ni? Àbí máa ní pé kọ́mọ mi máa lọ? It's a very tough, it's a very, very, very tough one. Like somebody said, love and prayer. Mommy Joanna Oluko said, we need love and prayers. Mommy Joanna Oluko said, children can try you to your limits. They can try you to your limits. And one thing again I want to say, if you're a youth and you're watching this, and you think, oh, I'm going to show them. If you like money, I'm going to show you. I don't care. Then also sometimes they have groups of friends that are instigating them against it. Who the hell is your stepfather? Who the hell is your stepmother? And they are thinking, I'll show them. Or they're thinking, who the hell is your mom? Your mom is this, your mom is that. Sometimes we need to let them know, bó fẹ́, àgbà ń bọ̀ wá kàn ẹ́ òwe. It's going to be your turn one day. You don't even know what's going to happen to you yet. Don't be like that. Don't do it on purpose. You know, somebody said they have a TikTok page now. It takes a lot of patience and wisdom. Somebody they have the stepchildren, they have a TikTok page. Can you imagine where the kind of, sometimes you have to bear in mind that a lot of people are speaking to this child. One day, like for instance, all of us here, what we know now, we don't know them when we were teenagers. But we need to be patient with them. And if you're a teenager, you're watching me, and you think I'm going to show them Shege Pro Max, you don't need it. If somebody is pushing you, somebody is instigating you against your step-parents, for no reason. I'm not talking about when the step-parents are being abusive or they're not being nice or something. That's a different case entirely. You have a step-parent that is nice to you. Please be nice. Do not go about saying I'm going to show them. Don't do it. You don't do that because it's not fair. It's not fair. And you have to make sure that your parents, they have peace of mind. You know. Yes, thank you, Chef Mrs. She said, do not let anyone use you. They debate their parents, etc. They teach each other the habits. That's another thing. Sometimes the voices that are speaking to them are so many. Bad voices speaking to them. Sorry, ma, before you comment, this last thing I want to say, and also, sometimes it happens to me. My husband is the father of my children, and sometimes he does things that sùúrù táwa obìnrin ní àwọn ọkùnrin ò ní rú ẹ̀ nígbà míì. So and báwa obìnrin ṣe máa ń bọ́mọ wí ó yàtọ̀ sí bọ́kùnrin ṣe máa ń bọ́mọ wí. Sometimes they see us as if we are indulging the children, and it's not indulgence. We cannot àlè jíjọ fi ọwọ́ líle mú ọmọ. Tí ìyá bá rọ̀ bàbá máa lé, tí bàbá bá lé ìyá máa rọ̀ sometimes. You know, so we have to bear that in mind, and we have to know that in all of this, the most important is the safety of that child, and of course the happiness and the peace in the home. Over to you, ma'am. You're going to say something.
Talking of safety, ma'am. Somebody wrote a message that sometimes the men, they will do certain things to these children. But the partner would not know. This so-called, he was ill-treating the children. You know, them be our wọ́n ti torí ẹ̀ wọn ò lè sọ nǹkan tí ọkọ ìyá wọn ṣe fún màmá wọn. But this man quietly, silently, ó maltreat wọn tó bá ti wá lójú ìyá wọn ṣe dáadáa. Okay, let me give you an instance of when a stepdad goes into a young adult's room. Okoloba, Ojafonu Bamolowo, your stepfather, remember? Ojafonu Bamolowo, this is not a hotel. You can't just be sitting there.
Where are they coming from? There must be some undertone or something. There was no prior.
There was no prior anything. My can't watch almost your repair was in the this is not a hotel. You think you can just be living here? So, but in situations that we don't really know, most times our parents we are more partners what is but they will come back to us, be that your child did this. Or madam, I'm film, I'm a pants. The child will not want to support because already could say like your in the first place.
Why do I think there must be some kind of there must have been some kind of undertone, whatever, before that. If that just happened without any prior...
The undertone is Baba yẹn ti máa sọ pé wọ́n lazy. Obviously, táwọn ọmọ bá ti rí bàbá yẹn, wọ́n máa wọnú yàrá wọn lọ. And due to pé bóyá wọn like ẹ̀, wọ́n máa wọnú yàrá wọn lọ. Tí bàbá yẹn ò bá sílé nìkan làwọn ọmọ máa ń bọ̀ tàwa báyà.
Okay, 1 second, ma. I think people are responding. Hold on, ma. I think people are responding to what you're saying. Somebody said even the children are mad at their mom for staying with their abusive dad too, let alone... Okay. Somebody said controlling. It's usually when they think the mom spoiled them, or maybe they think the mom spoiled the man, or the mom spoiled the children. So the new dad think it is his job to train the child. Okay, when they think the mom has spoiled the children, and now this is coming from Chef Mrs. Mommy, and now the new dad think it is his job to now train the children. Okay, I get that.
That's correct, Chef Mrs.
Somebody said that's not normal for the man to just get into the room and just somebody said they overstep in the process. That's from Chef Mommy Mrs. Mommy Joanna said that's not normal for the man to just bump into them and just collect the phone. I think that was when I was talking about the undertone. Cookies, cookies, lime see. It's this topic, we can be here for the next 5 hours alone. It's deep.
Yes, so when Mr. Foley B, when he was talking about this and that, we should know the undertone. How is the relationship? Yeah, he said his wife is this, his wife is that. But how is his relationship with the children? What has he been doing? Kini ìyàwó yín ti sọ fún yín pé okay o nípa ọmọ yìí? Did you listen? What has been the relationship between you and that child? Because there's a she knowing the process, and you expect the boy to greet you the next day or shemo, things like that. We need to know because we can't just, if we really want him to know what is right, we can't just say it's tough, keep praying, because you will now put your wife in a fix, either to choose you or to choose her child.
I think there's a saying in Yoruba, if it is from the parents that they are being funny, sorry, I just wanted to plug this, my battery is low. If the parent is the one that is being funny, if the step parents that is being funny, somebody said, can I add? Yes, please. Chef Mrs. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Also, is the child suffering from any mental issue, or she complain of anything like that?
Nobody is sure. It could be.
It's not distressing to the parent.
Yeah, nobody is sure. It could be. Yeah.
Cherry, anyway, that's why I said that, our gathering bites, we learn. Nobody, knows it all. I come to learn things from other people. Like Shemo, in our family, I'm the stricter person. My husband is
yeah.
So I have to be firm. So sometimes I come across too harsh to them. Like but at the same time, I realize that the calmer you are, the less problem going your mama face, the less enjoy where you get.
And
so we have had people's opinion on this platform, and I've been able to put one or two things together. And I'm very sure that uncle too would have learned one or two things that he will be able to apply later. It is what it is. What's in it? I'm a pray. I'm going to your back boju no go. Maybe just look at her as if maybe she doesn't exist, she's not in this house. Just ignore her completely if that's what she wants.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I want to know my TikTok. Oh, my mom used to do this, and we used to do this. So you people, you knew.
No, they didn't know. They didn't know. They didn't know then. Now they know. They didn't know then. They didn't know then. Now they know. Because wanted to go see, wanted to let exposure.
So,
and some of us, even we adults, we know better.
The knowledge we want to impact on these children.
Yes, ma.
We already know our gangan more.
Ben.
It comes to blending family together. Even Amy àtàwọn àbúrò mi tábúrò mi bá wà nù tó gbà tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ dé sí UK yìí tó bá rán first born rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ ọkọ mi ní láti pè pé you gave back to that baby, look after that baby. Má lọ ọmọ yẹn ṣe nǹkan tí mo sọ yẹn. So ẹ mọ̀ mo kàn fi example sọ.
Ó yé mi.
So tó bá jẹ́ pé ó fẹ́ lòmíì náà ẹlòmíì yẹn lẹ sọ pé ìyàwó mi ní ẹ̀gbọ́n ni kó má ṣe nǹkan mi ìfẹ́ kọ́ ọmọ ẹ ṣe fún mi. So because mo ṣe ń dáná lé bí ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ni.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
So tẹ́ bá ti wá dé pé ẹ̀ ń fẹ́ ẹlòmíì ìgbà míì wà ọkùnrin tó bá jẹ́ pé nǹkan tó fẹ́ náà fẹ́ wọ́n struggle nínú ilé yẹn. Because bí bàbá ẹ̀yà ọmọ àti ìyá ọmọ ṣe tọ́ àwọn ọmọ yẹn tẹ́lẹ̀ ó yàtọ̀ sí bí wọ́n ṣe fẹ́ kí wọ́n tọ́ ọmọ ó ṣe àwọn ọmọ ẹlẹ́lẹ́yìí. Àwọn ọmọ tí o dẹ̀ fẹ́ tọ́ yẹn, they have their own anger. They have their own problem with ìyá wọn àti bàbá wọn àti àwọn. Then you that they now remarry to, or the woman they remarry to, you're going to have your own problem. You're not careful, everybody lose out in the process.
We have to be careful.
Tó kọ́kọ́ tó kọ́ ọmọ lọ, tí ọkọ tó tún ṣe nǹkan tí mo bá fẹ́ ni mo fẹ́. It's wisdom.
One can lose both ways.
There needs to be ground rule, and there needs to be conversation of báwo la ṣe máa ṣe tó ṣe máa yàtọ̀. Because nínú ilé ọkọ àti ìyàwó gangan bí sister Chemostic ṣe sọ pé àwọn làwọn burú. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe burú tó yẹn náà, àwọn ọmọ yẹn ní láti mọ ìdí tẹ́ ṣe burú yẹn. Wọ́n ní láti mọ nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ mean. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ní láti mọ nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ gain out of nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ ń sọ fún wọn yẹn. Kò ṣe pariwo nìkan lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wo. Ẹ kàn lè máa pariwo kó má yé wọn. Because example ẹni mo náà burú tó bá ti fi ṣẹ́ dé ọkọ àti ìyàwó àtàwọn ọmọ everywhere máa sáré káàkiri yìí. Everywhere is messy kìnìkan. Ọjọ́ tó yóò fẹ́ ṣubú lulẹ̀ mú tó bá kú okú lásán ni. Because tó o bá clean ẹ̀ kí ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀.
Kí ló fẹ́ tẹ̀lé táyé fẹ́ parẹ́ ni.
Because abọ́tọ́ fọ̀ tó ní wọn fọ̀ dáadáa tó ń bú wọn tó ń tún fọ̀. Wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé wàá pariwo ní sọ́fà tó bá ti fọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ tó kọ́ wọn ò mátà. Than saying go back there and wash that plate again. Tó tún fọ̀, wash it again until tó mọ́. Next time wọ́n mọ̀ pé tó ń bá fọ̀ fún ẹ. Tí ò bá mọ́ wà mí ṣọ̀kan.
Wà ní kóhun tún fọ̀.
Ó ti yí sí instead kó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ló ń ṣe wàhálà yẹn. So gbogbo ẹ̀ ó gbọ́gbọ́n.
Ó gba sùúrù.
Obìnrin ni kó mọ̀ pé òun ò fẹ́ lose out because tó bá fi lè fọkọ́lẹ̀ tó kún àwọn ọmọ yẹn lọ make sure pé o choose àwọn ọmọ yẹn over ọkùnrin. Èèyàn kan ló kó ẹ tẹ́lẹ̀.
It is well. Ọlọ́run akọ́ wa mọ̀ ṣe o. That's my final whatever on this because nobody knows it all. Thank you so much, Chef Message. Nobody knows it all. We have to tread softly. Number one. Number two, we have to understand that when it comes to this situation, when it comes to raising children, let's even forget about step parenting or stepchildren or whatever. When it comes to raising children, it's not one heart fits all. In fact, my mother used to tell me, we were 7 in number. We are 7. My mother would say, if they call me, that's you, Bumi, you did something, and it's something you cannot do, I'll tell them, Bumi. Tell everybody like Bajalo she, ma believe it. But tẹ́ bá ní ó ń ṣe báyìí nǹkan tóun lè ṣe nìyẹn so ọmọ yàtọ̀ sọmọ o Yorùbá dẹ̀ lọ wọ́n bọ̀ wọ́n ní tá bá fọ ọmọ ọwọ́ ọmọ àwọn náà kan pa ọmọ yàtọ̀ sọmọ. We have to be patient. We have to understand these children. We have to understand that they're not the same. However, or having said that, it doesn't mean that we should not completely indulge them. We should always tell them, correct them in love, and sometimes what these teenagers need is to ignore them. Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé wọ́n exist. And also some children make parenting so easy. They make it so easy. One thing again that children of nowadays hate is when you start comparing them and say, low, lagbaja, egbe ni, o she bye bye bye. That's another thing that we parents do. And then the way you will talk to this child and he will listen, the other child may not be like that, you know. We believe that as they grow up, they will have more understanding. It doesn't mean that we should always indulge them, like my mother would say, lema fọwọ́ ra wọn lórí pé ó wà okay, torí pé a fẹ́ kọ́ bínú. We will say what we can in the way we can, but don't make it too much. Another thing that children hate, that we also hated when we were young, but we didn't have a choice during our own days, is when parents are overemphasizing, which nowadays they call nagging, you know, and my pastor will say that my mom will follow me from the kitchen to the room to the bathroom to the bust. Sometimes we just look away. Sometimes we let them make the correct decision. And obviously, we need to pray for these children. We need to be patient. We need to understand that they are all different, you know. And if you are the biological parents, you have to have a lot of patience. You have to understand that you are in the middle. Make sure that you're not taking sides. You're not taking sides from the children. You're not taking sides from your spouse. Try as much as possible to make sure that you play neutral, even though I know that no matter how much you try, sometimes both of them may still be seeing you as if ọkọ wọn ló support àbí ìyàwó wọn ló support. Ó dàbí ọ̀rọ̀ ìyá àti ìyàwó tá a bá sọ yìí náà ni, that the mother will be saying, look at your wife is talking to me anyhow, are you not going to talk to your wife? Ìyàwó náà máa ní, look at the way your mother is talking to me, your mommy is not talking to me, and the man will be so confused and be like, oh, ẹ gbà mí o, where do I go? It's a similar case. Remember that both of us need to be mature. We need to understand. We need to correct in love. You know, we need to have a lot of patience. Communication has to be clear and respectful. We need to also not bring our previous experience into this or compare. We need to also know that there should be fairness in the way we talk, and we should allow this relationship to develop, not just grow overnight. Some people expect an overnight growth, they expect an overnight improvement. You know, we have to understand that it takes a while, it takes a process. Please allow that time. It's not going to happen overnight. Like we said, you know, it may be very difficult for the biological parents. It can even cause the biological parents to be distressed. You know, sometimes they feel they are trapped in between, they're sandwiched in between the two. You know, I don't even know where to turn. My daughter hates me, my husband hates me, or my son hates me, my wife hates me. Where do I turn? They feel trapped. You have to understand them. Please be considerate of the person that's in between. Be considerate, you know. They are trapped in between two people that they love dearly. Please, we have to support them. He's just, you know, to make sure that they don't feel like they are not balanced. That thing can actually cause somebody to go crazy. Even me, my husband has said to me before, that's what the day my husband said that to me, I was like, hey, just because you did something to our son and I'm correcting that what you did is too harsh. For me, I shall more time belong for shall leave what it to. Hey, oh, did you bá wí? Tí n bá tún dá sọ́rọ̀ ìwọ àtàwọn ọmọ yẹn kó pè mí lọ́mọ àlè. I was like, Popsy, kí la gbé, kí lẹ jù. You know, that is their biological father. It's not even someone that I married from outside. So it is not peculiar. That's one thing again that the step parents need to understand. It's not peculiar to you being the step parent. Sometimes, you know, it happens everywhere. And also, on this blended, like we said, blended families requires a lot of patience. And when I say blended family, when you remarry or you bring, you know, it requires a lot of patience. It requires a lot of maturity, understanding from everyone involved. Please, a step parent must always, as I said, must always remember that a child may already carry emotional wounds that they are not even disclosing to you. They must be carrying some emotional wounds from the previous, you know, relationship and all, you know. So, and stepchildren must also understand that they must always recognize that a step parent may simply be trying to find their way around them, to find place in the new family. So if we all understand this, things will go better. You know, if you are not antagonistic, we are not already having, yes, you're not my father. No, let's calm down. Let us calm down and make things work. So if both are considerate and understanding and are patient, we will get there. And if it is not working at the moment, just give space for a while. Just, you know what, like normally, I mean, when she 2-3 days in or second, me and my daughter, kì í ṣe ìjà o, màá kàn pé ṣé ìwọ ọmọdé, we are all right. She too, she eventually will come back together. Sometimes we need to give that space. Wait, you know what, can you breathe on it? Then we'll come back together. There's no crime in step parenting. Now, when we are talking about step parenting of people that are married before and they come together and become together, what about in a situation where the other parent is still in the house? For example, I have a stepmom who my father married and my mother was still there. How do we even go about that? Sometimes you are angry that your father go and marry another man to replace to come and compete with your mother. But we never allow that to affect us. We dwell together until today we still have good relationship. So I just want to believe that, you know, we can make things work. So I want to say thank you to everybody. I don't think we're going to be able to do Abala Kini Cliche today. Time is gone. I cannot believe that this took us this long. If you can still hear me, say hi. I think everybody is beginning to leave, which I can understand. We've been here for 2.5 hours. It's been a long conversation. Yeah, somebody said hi. Thank you, everybody. It's been a fantastic one. If you want us to do Abala Kini Cliche, let me know. If you want us to move on so that we can close for today and the next time we talk about Abala Kini Cliche, let me know. It's been a fantastic evening. I have learned a lot.
Let's do Abala Kini Cliche. Before you go into Abala Kini Cliche, number one, we are enjoying you. We are learning. And I know a lot of people majority have emphasized on the children. But please, let us stress about Oko Atiyawo, the adults themselves. Most of the times, I'll keep you know, even I went to Nigeria in December, for example. This is not a matter of step or no step. My biological sister, anything be me. You know, we had a maid for my mom. She's a little girl. It just didn't want to buy anyone because mommy gone Julo. So one John Shiore. I loved her because she's a little girl that is struggling to make ends meet. So going home, mommy. My sister came to visit me. So from okay, it was mom say because we deliberated on her taking my mom instead of my mom living alone with the maid. You know, right in my very before. A woman so from modo pe sorry, low one to badly make you can imagine my sister saying that.
Oh, my Shege Pro Max for my alone jabe.
See you in your bed. So
somebody said Abala, please. Somebody said we meet Abala.
Yeah. See you in your bed, step child. How is she going to treat that person? I told you about Omoye. You know, she's definitely going to pretend. The next day you don't expect the child to say hello to you.
That's why I said earlier, ma. Sorry to cut you short. That's why I said earlier about any burumo. You know within yourself.
Yeah.
You know, both ways.
And I asked my little girl, to show my tele big mommy, only mama salon, mommy tebatilo, Timbalo sodo big mommy, mama saloni. She told me, she confided in me.
Wow.
Eja came me ati grandma lole wa.
Wow. Wow.
Because Teba force making tele big mommy. Toba de salon, komo eko, omo iluni. To salon, to no bossa wa boy story there, it's up banko. So most times, I want to shake and walk it. That was why I asked that man, Uncle Foley Bay, what have you been doing? Because it takes two to tango.
Don't even let us go back there. Like we have said, we can't see the other side, but God sees the other side. You understand? Everything that we have said here tonight is just a general comment that we are making. But if whoever had come up to tell us whatever, that's why they said you have to go at imaging before you judge anything. But the basic thing that we have been able to conclude on tonight is that conscience will clear and let us allow peace to reign. It's very possible, it's very possible. We can make things work, and we have to work on it. And I just hope that uncle finds peace with his stepchild, whether son or daughter, I don't know. And then I just hope that they're able to make up, I pray that God help us. It's a tough one, I'm not gonna lie. It's a tough one. In as much as I said that myself and my stepmom and we and my stepmother that we got on, there was instances where I had to side my mom. I had to, stand up. It's not as if we didn't have our time of differences or whatever. But eventually and then if me gone, in any kind of relationship at all. I pray that God will help us. People say that Abala, please. Let me quickly say this. The Abala communication that we have today is a situation that occurred that somebody came to church to cry for help. The person came to cry for help and said, please help me. I am struggling financially and I have a health condition I need to go and treat in the hospital, and it's going to cost me a certain amount of money. And the person, let's say the person mentioned 250,000 naira, 250,000, and then the pastor raised the thing in church, and people contributed money, but they were able to raise like four times more than the money that the man demanded for. So what they did was they took the amount that he requested for, gave it to him, and then kept the rest in the church pockets. What would you, if you were that man? Before I tell you the man's reaction, what would you have done if you were that person? Because we have two about let's quickly talk about that. What would you have done if you are that person? What would you have done? The church kept the rest of them. Maybe they raised instead of 250K, they raised 1 million. They now gave you the 150K, 250K that you requested for and kept the rest in the church pocket. What would you do if you are that person? People that were asking for Abalakini, over to you.
I wouldn't do anything because I came to the church to beg for a certain amount of money. Once he raised there for me, whatever is left in the church pot is not my business. Because I came today to ask for. Yeah.
We can hear you,
man. Church to ask for some ham. Hams that they helped me with. If they had given me all the money, what if to emergency for another person that is even more crucial than mine? She wants to make an announcement in the church. If I start fighting, if I 1.2 for 250, then that shows I am showing sense of ingratitude, sense of entitlement, and greed.
Okay. Who else thinks that what the Vigilation said is right? Somebody said that's not really nice. The money should have been given to him. You see, we were talking about all different people with different opinions. Somebody said all the money should have been given to him. So who else thinks that the money should have been given to the man? All the money should have been given to the man. Because just felt that no, he's not entitled to all the money. Somebody said all the money should have been given to him. That's not nice. So who else thinks that all the money should have been given to him? Yeah, all the money should be given to him. Okay, most people are saying all the money should have been. So if raised for him, it should be given to him. Chef Mrs. said, if it is raised for him, it should be given to him.
Hello, ma. If the money is raised, particularly for that person, go back for 2,000, under 10,000. Church should not keep anything. If anybody needs help, they will raise help for the person again. And the man people don't need Thomas of your money is need 1,000. At the end of the day, 20,000 lo marry. Ben. Bono shake back from here. She getting what more so. Ben. Yeah. So the church church any lower.
Okay. So
and they're not working according to the scripture.
Wow. I think a lot of people are talking the same. Someone said I will just leave them because at least the church came to my aid. But the money should have been given to the man. All the money should have been given to the man. Chef Mrs. also said if it's raised for him, it should be given to him. Their intention should be fulfilled, which personally I think they should have given all the money to him as well. And even if it's going to leave part of the money, it should be at his discretion. If he says, Efegbo, iye tí mo need lélẹ̀, ẹ kàn bẹ̀rẹ̀ bá mi fi díẹ̀ kún kí yòókù wà. That's up to him. He has to be the one to decide. I don't think the church should have kept the money without him. And the man obviously fought. He was very angry and he fought and said, why would they do that? Well, unfortunately, that's it. And the second one, I'm just quickly going to go over that. There is a couple, husband and wife, and the siblings of the husband came visiting, and the wife just suddenly found out that they came, and the wife was like, so the woman was like, but I told my brother, and he said it was okay. And then when the man came, the man said, what is off me now? Should I don't go to suffer one? So the question now is, who should I take permission from if I want to visit my brother? Should I talk to the wife or talk to my brother? Even though it's my brother, who should I take permission from? The wife or my brother to visit my brother's house? And my brother is married though. If I'm going to visit my brother, who should I take permission from? Who should I inform that I'm coming? The wife or my brother? Oh yeah, in the next 5 minutes, can you close chapter here? Somebody said both of them.
Both of them depending on the relationship.
Depending on the relationship, okay.
Normally, you can some brother and go, yeah, when my son go, auntie, mumbo.
Okay.
Or so about the relationship, you tell your brother, and then your brother will know how to tell the wife that, oh, my brother is coming. But if you both have good relationship, both of them should be informed. Okay. Even if it's a text message. Okay. I'll be coming over on Saturday, ma. I'll be coming over on Saturday. So it's simple.
Okay, so this time around, the woman told only the brother, didn't tell the wife, and the wife was not having it. And he said, and probably one way or the other, whether intentionally or oversight, the brother did not remember to inform the wife. So the woman is not having it.
They don't have a good rapport.
So if I don't have good rapport, should you still not tell me? The brother should have informed the wife.
No, the brother should have informed the wife.
Okay, somebody said the brother should have informed. Why will you go to your brother's wife when you don't have a relationship with the wife? Hey.
Maybe she wants to see the relationship. She wants to see the brother.
Wahalad. So if I don't have a good relationship with my brother's wife and I want to come to their house, I should tell my brother alone. Why will you go to your brother's wife when you don't have a relationship with the wife? Why will you go to his so okay, house. Okay. If I have to go, before I can Port Harcourt, is there anything wrong in that? One people why much about in the first place, if I know relationship with Luya where
good relationship with Luya.
Bukilicious.
I'm not necessarily finding a low buru.
Yeah, it could be both. It could be okay. The day you're and it could even be both ways. I could be the sibling to the wife. I could be the sibling to the wife, and then I want to come and see my sister. And I did not inform the husband. It could be any way.
For what you are saying now, can I quickly say a story?
Yeah.
Egbomi. Moloki they were transferred to Asaba.
Yeah.
So she had a baby. I now went there to go and help them. My sister and her husband, they were now having issue. But the brother won't share anything for me. But that share me. So I was chatting and and my sister got upset.
You want them back here?
So in that situation, what do we Exactly. So that shows how people, people mentality are wired.
Maybe
don't disrespect
the brother's wife. It could be. It could be anyways. Anyway, I think personally, to make life easy, somebody said if home is fractured, there will be little problems. if they don't have good relationships, it could be, like MC Monai says. Somebody actually MC Monai believe that you don't go to a brother's wife if you and the wife are not having a relationship. All these things, sometimes we believe it is just something that we just talk about here. This thing is causing serious fractions and serious frictions, big one in families. I think the best thing on it boils down to the fact that we need to try as much as possible to have good relationship with everybody, get along, no matter how difficult it may look, get along as much as you can. Sometimes you're to learn mojuku, sometimes you're to just because of situations like this. If you and your brother's wife have good relationship, whether you inform her, you don't inform her, you inform the husband, kò ní any problem because you are big sis, bro, and you'll be fine. That's why it's so important to try and maintain good relationship in every. I know it's not always going to be easy, but let's try and maintain good relationship. Maintaining good relationship will save a lot of stress, will save us a lot of hassle, which is something that we have to try. But in this case, I think the best thing to do is kí èèyàn inform àwọn méjèèjì. Chef Mrs. kò sí ọbẹ̀. Wọ́n ní kò sọ́bẹ̀, and it's okay. Anyways, I think the best thing is to just inform both of them to make life easy. Like somebody had said, I think it was Kemosik that said it. Maybe just send a text to say, hey, sis, marry you later. Even if you're not in good relationship, it might be easier. But if there is good relationship, I don't think anything will matter. Somebody said, if I were her, I would talk to my brother on the phone and even the wife. Anyway, wisdom is important in everything we do, and this goes to show that how family dynamics can really, it can be. I don't even know. And with this thing called marriage,
it is better to speak to both parties, even if you're not in good terms with the other person. Just a text will do, because you telling just your brother. See, brother, I know she starts problem. I will support MC Monite. You're not in good terms with me. You want to come to my home, not only your brother's home, because most times women don't even say the percentage of contribution they do in the house. What if the Baja could bring yellow nile? What if the Baja bring yellow collie? See a boy moves the talk of aticoli. What if the Baja Wajaba go and colonile? But the woman is the neck of the family, not your brother. And your brother refused to tell his wife, Owade, Owamu, a boy losoke, Ola Kundumalupa Brew, Miss Rumbise. So why would you not say? But if you had sent a text earlier, hi auntie, I'll see you. I'm coming to you on Saturday. I've told my brother. So resolved. Your brother would have called you, oh Mongo, a conference. I'll book a hotel for you to stay. Just to make both of you because what would be your gain as the husband in the house? Will you look away? Would you allow your wife to be slapping your brother, or would you allow your brother or your sister to be slapping your wife? Where are you going to stand in the midst of the two of them? So wisdom is.
And I think if one spouse, sorry to call you short man, if one spouse is told, for example, if my sibling coming, and you have told me as your sister, I have every right to tell you coming. If you told about tell it, Tobania, show you or the other way, tobacco or kunimita broom if I was on me, man, show to pay a woman. Tobalo will tip me. I have every right to say pay me, name my best of you, make Ojako away. And
I know it's quicker for men's family to say, hey, Oga, but that means they always tag men that says that as woman rapper. But they are not woman rapper, they are the strengths themselves. Because
it's even courtesy. It's courtesy, man. It's courtesy. You don't just turn up. Even when we're young, we did not understand this, and we did not understand this back in the days when we were young. Because I remember that I used to laugh at myself when we were little. I used to put all my clothes inside Oki biscuits pali. I'll carry it on my head and go and visit my uncle unannounced. They will welcome us. They don't say anything wrong back in the days. That's why that woman, I will forever be grateful to her. Mommy blessing, that's my uncle's wife, Miss Sogumbala. She was so welcoming. Everybody goes to their house unannounced. We didn't even think there was anything wrong. We did not see anything wrong in it back in the days. But nowadays, you can't do that. You cannot do that. You need to let them know. Number one, there's plans, everything. They have to plan. They have to, they have to be ready for you. They have to know that they can, afford to have you around at that time. So, and their privacy also does matter. You don't just bump into them and think that everything will be okay. And just telling one party and not telling the other does not make any sense. Even if it's a friend, you're coming to stay in my house, except if I don't want you to talk to my husband. So, okay, then okay, okay, I will come back to you. God help us. So God help us. I will talk to my brother on the phone and even the wife. Somebody said, thank you. All is because there is no love. You do not need to announce any visit if there is love. And here back in the days, yes, ọ̀làjú ló dé, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ọ̀làjú ló dé, nǹkan tí yàtọ̀ sí tìgbà kan, and we have to just accept life as it comes. Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, how can I ever say thank you enough to everybody? This has been one of the most amazing episodes of this show. I just want to say thank you to everybody who had joined me this week. Gbogbo tó bá wa dá sétò, gbogbo tẹ́ bá wa pè wọlé, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín, ẹ kú gbogbo ìgbà o. Bó ṣe máa ń wuni ká jẹ ẹran pẹ́ lẹ́nu tó. Kíní tó ń pè lọ́sọ̀fagọ̀sì náà ni ò kí ń gbà o, fana fún ni kò ń gbà fún wa o. Òun fana fún tuntun ti ń fà wá báyìí o. Tó bẹ́ẹ̀ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ, Yorùbá ló lọ tó bọ̀ tí wọ́n ní pé kì í dùn kó pọ̀, bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni kì í pọ̀ kó dùn. Ṣókí báyìí, òun lọbẹ̀ oge. Àní rí jù báyìí lọ lórí ètò lénìí, ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi. Ó tún dọ̀sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ lágbára Ọlọ́run. Àmọ́ kó tó dìgbà náà, èmi Olúwabùnmi aya Òṣìbẹ̀rù ni mo wá sọ fún gbogbo wa wípé lílọ ni mo tún ti ń lọ yìí. Ogun ó lọ kò dé kò ní bá mi. Ogun ó dé kò bá wọn kò ní jẹ́ tiyín o. Àlàáfíà, ìdùnnú, ìfọ̀kànbalẹ̀ tí mo fi yín sílẹ̀ ní. Òun náà ni máa padà wá bá yín lọ́jọ́ mẹ́jọ lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Wọn nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní kankan nínú yín ṣàwátì o. Wọ́n fàsìkò yẹn sọ wípé láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o. Mo ní láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o. Ẹ̀yin ò ní forígún, èmi ò ní fẹsẹ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ o. Mọ́tò yòówù ká lè wọ̀ kó ní forí sọ̀gì o. Láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé. Láyọ̀ la ó máa pàdé o. Thank you so much, everybody. See you next week.
Let's talk traditional wedding. Gbogbo lólùfẹ́ rẹ̀ mú etí rẹ̀ gègé. Let's talk traditional wedding. Ẹ̀fọ́ lórí tíríkì méjèèjì ìwé. Let's talk traditional wedding. Lórúkọ ètò náà. Let's talk traditional wedding. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó bọ̀ ní lọ́gbọ̀n. Let's talk traditional wedding. Ṣé ti gbọ́? Ètò Let's Talk traditional wedding ló lọ lọ́wọ́.
Can't say that from mine.
Kí lorúkọ ètò náà? Let's Talk traditional wedding. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó kọ́ ní lọ́gbọ̀n. Let's Talk traditional wedding. Every Tuesday on Instagram. Every Tuesday on Facebook. 6 p.m. UK time. Every Tuesday on Facebook. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó fún mi lóye. Let's Talk traditional wedding. Ètò ìgbéyàwó tó fún mi lóye. Let's Talk
traditional wedding. Thank you so much, everybody. See you next week by the special grace of God. God bless you. Bye.